こいつは楽しめそうだ。
Fighters ready. Engage.
Alright, everybody, Movie 186 back again with another podcast, the Overrated Podcast, episode 48. I am your co-host, Movie 186. If I sound tired, it's because I am tired. I haven't slept since I left work at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Why not?
I've been driving I've been driving two old people around the city, so yeah, I'm kind of tired.
That
But on
sound,
that note,
that sound a little mean spirited.
No. But I mean, they're old. You know, what I mean, they're old people. So I had to do that. So in the meantime, Hoovy 186, and this is Traditionalist 101.
Yes, you know how it is. We have to hold on to tradition. That's how things work, and that's how things supposed to be. Which is why my name is the Traditionalist 101. So as we all know, it is 4th of July, folks.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is 4th of July. I have a lot of fireworks that I do want to shoot, but I think I'm just going to pass and just hold them off until New Year's. We had, frankly, we have friends who are cheap and they don't want to contribute or buy fireworks. So one of our other friends, he decided to put it on hold since nobody else wants to contribute, and that is the one of the most unfortunate things that happen when it comes to these group events. When people don't want to partake, it kind of ruins the whole entire event. And my friend over here said that he wants to officially want to partake, but 3 people is not enough. We need more. So no fireworks tonight, maybe most
And
likely.
that's part of the reason why we're doing the podcast, this afternoon, was because we're not doing a podcast on 4th of July at 9 o'clock with there's fireworks going on outside both our places, and especially in my place. You're gonna hear that shit all. Like they shoot the fireworks in the parking lot. So
Are you for real?
yeah. So
Wait, hold on. So does that irritate you, or you just go out and watch?
a little bit of both. A little bit of both.
So it's entertaining,
Mm-hmm.
but then at the same time it irritates you.
Yeah.
How does that work?
No, this is how it works. Sometimes some of the fireworks are cool. Some of it's like when it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and you want to go to sleep. It's annoying.
I always find it funny how people complain when fireworks are being shot, knowing that it is 4th of July, knowing that we are celebrating, New Year's, and yet people are
New
still
Year's.
upset about it. Yeah, because New Year's people shoot fireworks. So, so people get upset knowing that, hey, hold on, this is a celebration. Why are you getting upset for? This only happens twice a year. You'll be fine, and that goes for you too. You'll be fine.
No, like the plan. My plan is, go out, watch some fireworks, and then go home. So that's my plan. If I get up from sleep, but like I said, I haven't slept since I left work. So I'm kind of running on fumes here. But podcast is might as well do the podcast today. Get it out the way. Plus, there's a lot of interesting stuff that happened, so we might as well.
A lot of interesting stuff that happened, and um, actually, no, I don't want to say it because I know it's going to irritate you, but there was a lot of I told you so's that I wanted to mention today, regarding of what I've been saying for the past few weeks, and I've been absolutely right about it. And although you and I had argued many times when it comes to this type of stuff, all I have to say is I told you so, and I told you so that this is exactly what's going to happen.
All right, and my opinion is going to be the same today, like it was yesterday, like it's going to be tomorrow. It was going to be in the next podcast. Not my concern. I don't care.
No, that's
And
fine.
spe- and speaking of not caring, you want to do your first you want to do the first topic?
Um, yeah. Well, just in case anybody wants to figure out what we're talking about, it's not a topic, but we promise we're going to talk about it next week. But just hopefully this doesn't catch for anybody by surprise. But Disney announced that Spider-Man well they quote unquote a different universe. Spider-Man will be a homosexual, and when I found out about this, I actually posted on Twitter. I was upset about it, not happy about it. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of space, and I think that I don't think this is going to be the last one. I think there's going to be more. They're going to change all these beloved characters who are already established, and I think it's very unfortunate that Disney, Marvel, DC, all these other major corporations are going to this route to appease a particular group. And the only reason why my friend here does not care is simply because he, in my opinion, he loves to find any way possible to rush to their aid and defend the homosexual community. That's what I think ultimately, what it is. As long as it doesn't interfere with his stuff, he's perfectly okay with it. But because it's comics, who cares? I don't read comics, so it doesn't bother me because it goes to things that he doesn't care about. Tell me if I'm wrong about that.
Everything you said is wrong. I like Malta said, dude. I I may not have been totally fair with some of the things I said last stream, and then what are y'all talking about? I wanted to start the podcast, but he wanted to bring up the whole Spider-Man thing.
Well, now Malta, I don't know what part you said, because it says I may not have been totally fair with some of the things I have said last stream. I mean, if you want to, make corrections, yeah, hey, go ahead, and I'm definitely looking forward to hear what you're going to apologize for. But I mean, look, we all say things that we don't mean. But all right, so having he asked, let me just show him real quick what I'm talking about.
Whoa.
Real quick. Malta, I'm not going to read the article, Malta, because this guy over here is going to get all upset and all irate, and I really don't have time to argue. I don't have time to argue about things that I care for and that he doesn't care for. But all right, this
Okay. First of all, we're going to set this straight. We're going to set this straight right now. We are on a time limit. Yes or no?
listen. You're delaying it right now. I just want him to get a visual.
No. You're mischaracterizing the situation. We are on a time limit. Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I didn't want to make sure you understand that.
Yeah, sure. That I don't know what that had anything to do with this, but all right.
No, nothing had nothing to do with anything. You had a topic that you want to discuss, and I would like to discuss the topic so we can get the podcast over with.
Okay, all right.
But since it's up, go ahead, talk about it.
Relax, dude. All right. Relax your nerve. Malta, to answer your question, just so that you or anybody else that's watching saying that I'm lying, saying that I'm being hyperbolic, this is exactly what I predicted just a couple of weeks ago, just a few weeks ago. It says Marvel introduced its first gay Spider-Man as the latest Spider-Verse variant. So now again, I'm not going to read this. We're going to talk about this. You're going to talk about this next week. No. We're talking about the. Look. We're going to talk about it next week. But the only reason why I'm mentioning it now is just to let everybody be aware that I told you that this was going to happen. That I told Havenel and everybody else that thought that I was talking crazy that this is exactly what was going to happen. That they were going to take our beloved characters who we care about, and then they were going to make them homosexuals. That's what they were going to do. They were pushing an agenda, and I think it's not good for the beloved fans. I don't think it's good for the kids, and I just don't think it's good for the overall product as a whole anyway. Because the characters has already been established and set, and now they want to make all of these changes. I'm not happy with it, and I'm not surprised that other fans and people are just boycotting, or you're just not gonna let the kids watch it in general, like we saw with the Buzz Lightyear movie. People are just gonna say I'm not interested in watching you anymore, or support money or put money into your company anymore. That's what's going to happen, and I think it's going to get worse here from here on in. So so that's pretty much it. So yeah, so get ready for that. That'll be our next week topic, I guess.
No, it's not a topic. It's you ranting with like what you did to just now. You just ranted on stuff that you want to rant about, or in this month, since you took pretty much took the entire month of Pride Month just trashing gays and and transsexuals.
You think I was trashing, or you think I was just disagreeing?
No, you're trashing. You're trashing. But I'm not going to elaborate because I'm not. I just want to get this thing over with. Now, Mota said that he's been very upset. I know we had a conversation. I know some of the stuff you're dealing with it sucks. Um, he said I have to see it to make an opinion. Having a gay character could totally work, but I'm a bit more masculine. I'm into chicks, not guys. And Steve just said it already. The era of men being masculine and women being masculine is over. Oh, feminine. I don't think. No, it's not. It's not. It's not over.
It is over.
No, it's not over. But
It is over.
here,
Because even you said you don't care about that. Even you said, "Oh, we're not living in the '80s, or we're living in the '70s." That's what you said.
no,
This whole masculine role, feminine role. You said it was over a long time ago.
no. Here's what I said. All right. This idea of what you think it is, and what you think it is that the woman has to sit there. She has to cook. She has to be submissive to the man. Don't sit there. I want you to tell me right now that I'm lying about what the stuff that I'm saying about what you believe. That is that's over. That's over. But you can still be feminine. You can still be masculine. Now, don't get it twisted. I don't get it twisted. I saw a tweet. I wish I had it here. I don't have time to search for it, but I saw.
No, sure. It's like, show us your team. Prove your point.
I'm not gonna be. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it. Yeah, I don't think I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it. I saw it. I don't think I saved it anywhere, but it's one of the dumbest tweets I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Where a woman, I'm assuming this is a woman, on Twitter pretty much said that if you get accused of rape, that you have to accept it because of all the years that women have been oppressed.
That if the guy gets raped?
No, if you are accused of rape and you're a man, and a woman accuses you of rape, then you have to accept it because you're pretty much taking one for the team. And
Dude, there's just no way somebody could be that dense. I think you read it wrong.
Bro, I read it twice. I read that shit twice. Watch,
dude. But have no, please, no, haven't no. You have to show us that
If I could find it, I'll share it with you. But I couldn't find it. But when I read that tweet, I was just like, wow. But with that said, like,
go ahead.
With that said, like, you can be just be yourself. Like all this stuff about you have to be this, you have to be that. No, just be yourself, bro.
What does that mean?
Just be yourself. Be who your true self is. Don't worry about what society wants you to be or what random people want you to be. No, be yourself. That's it. Watch Back to the Future. That's one of my favorite movies of all time, also. Dude Hoovy is one thing for women not to be seen as sex dolls or just for the kitchen. I totally defend women on that. However, now the men want to be women and vice versa.
Exactly. Thank you.
I mean, I mean, if they want to be a woman, that's
No,
not my
no, no,
problem.
no, 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 no. Don't start with that crap. Don't start.
It's not my problem. Like
First,
I don't think you understand.
the motto. Let me tell you how I just caught him. This is what I mean when I say who we just talk, say stuff just to say stuff. First, it's we're not living back in the day. We're not. We shouldn't live or the what I believe in or living back in the 80s and the 70s or the 60s. Oh, all that should change. But once you mention, oh, that men wants to be women and women wants to be men, oh, who cares? Oh, you know what? That doesn't bother me. Oh, it's whatever. But no, 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 no.
It is. I
Let
don't
me
care
let
what
me
you want to
let me
be.
let me make the link here because I still don't think you understand. At that portion, what Malta just explained, you don't care about. But yet, when we try to focus on traditional roles, you have a problem with that. But you have absolutely no problem when people wanting to
Because
transition.
what your meaning of traditional roles are. I know what they are, and they're outdated. That's all I'm trying. That's all I'm trying to tell you. And this
Yeah,
notion that, and this notion that you, and this notion that they have to be this way in order for you to be worthy of being a wife is outdated as well.
no, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, a man having to protect, provide, that's outdated too.
No, that's not that's not outdated.
No, 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 no.
What's
According to
outdated?
you, that is
No, 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 no,
outdated.
no, 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 no. But
According to you, that's
what's
outdated.
outdated? No, what's outdated is this notion is that the man is the only one that can do that. That's the problem. Is that the man is the only one that can do that. That's the problem.
How is that?
I'm not going deep into this. Right? I'm trying to
No,
get
no,
the
no, no, no.
podcast. I'm trying to get the podcast started.
The podcast already started.
No, no, no. I'm trying to get the actual topic started. But I'm going out of respect for Malta, I'm going to answer his questions. Okay. But like I said, we are on a time limit. Right. So let me read this thing from Malta. That's the United States, bro. Here, if you hug a girl, if you kiss a girl on the cheek, if you stick your finger in someone's belly button, it's all considered rape. Let me address that.
Oh
Let me
man,
address that. Because in some ways he is right. I do agree with him there. There was a commercial, I think it was a Gillette commercial, right? Where the main message was to treat women with respect, right? Which in theory is the right thing to do. However, there was a part in the commercial where a guy was gonna holler at a chick, and another dude said, "No, leave her alone." To me, that's wrong. If you're going to holler at a chick, there's nothing wrong with hollering at a chick. There's nothing wrong with that because you don't know what he was going to do, but just assuming that he's gonna do this and that because because he's gonna go up to her, that's dumb. If you see someone that you're attracted to, you have the right to court them, and she definitely has the right to say, "Oh, I'm not interested," whatever. She has the right to say that too, right? But this notion where if you like some people would be like if you hug a girl or do this and do that you're raping them. No, but there's a line that you have to be careful of. There is a line that you have to be careful of. You know what I mean? You definitely have to be more cognizant of that now than ever before. All right, that's all I'm saying.
no. But I think what you're also saying is what you're also trying to say is, and I'm going to catch you on this because I know what you're trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
What you're saying is, oh, the man isn't only one that is there to protect and whatnot. Pretty much what you're saying is whatever it is that the man was told to do back then, the women should also be in charge or also be the head or also be the,
No,
no,
that's
no,
not.
let me finish. Also, no, I'm talking about the overall aspect of what you're saying, that she could also be the head, that she could also be in charge, that she could also protect the man, etc., etc., etc. What you're saying is there is no there is no standard. It could be either a traditional role for the men or the women. That's what you're trying to say.
Whatever role that works for them, is what it should be if it works for them. Is my Wi-Fi okay? Because I'm seeing that my Wi-Fi is unstable. But am I? I'm not botting or nothing, right?
No, I could still hear you. I could still hear you fine.
Okay. My thing is just whatever dynamic works for them is what matters. This notion that there's some type of universal way where everything is supposed to work is BS. In my opinion, it's BS. And Malta says that they're trying to cancel us. I mean, don't say nothing stupid. That's what I'm saying. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. Like,
No, no, what he means by "don't be done" is when you speak truth, that could get you canceled. That's what he's saying.
all right. So what's truth then? What's your truth?
No, I already told you what my truth is, and I don't want to say it because I know that's going to offend you because you know I'm going to go to the Bible, and I'm not going to do that because for the sake of you,
All right,
I don't want to do that.
Steve. All right, you're the same guy who preaches the Bible and all this other shit, and then
No, 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 see,
and
see,
then
now,
let me finish. And then when I tell when we were I remember me and Randy would talk and tell you, well, why don't you find a good Christian girl in church? You're like, oh, they're hypocrites. They're hypocrites.
I never said that.
Yeah, you have. You said that in the past. Absolutely, you have.
I don't think so.
Randy
if I
can talk for me.
if
Randy
I
can talk for me.
I think you may get this up, but if
No,
I did say that, then obviously that's my bad, and I take it back. When it comes to people, churchgoers, I think every single person, including myself, pastors, ministers, we all are hypocrites because we all needed a savior. All of us need a savior. All of us are sinners. But at the end of the day, we could accept Christ and be sanctified. Hold on.
yeah.
We could accept Christ, be sanctified, and then that could allow us, to change and represent Christ the way He represents His Father. But at the end of the day, though, no, yeah, all of us, are sinners. So yeah, all of us are to some degree hypocrites from the start.
Okay, but when we would do this thing called girl hunting, right? Where would you go? You would go to the mall. You would go to a restaurant, whatever. You didn't go to a church.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I would always, try out, a church. The only problem with the church, a lot of them, at least back then, when I would, try to figure out who I would want to be with, whether it was at a church or if it was at the mall or if it was at not the club. What was the other place where I would go? Um, Crap, you were there with me one time too. Well, I can't remember, but regardless of where I went, the problem that I always had was if there was a church that I used to go to, there wasn't really that many women when I would attend these small churches. A lot of the small churches that I had attended, there weren't really that many females that were there.
Yeah.
Like the churches that I used to go to, like for example, my mom's church, right? It was obviously it was a Haitian church. A lot of the girls that were there were like 5, 6, 7-year-old girls. Like who am I going to talk to there? And then when I would go to other churches, there weren't really that many females there. So what was I supposed to do? I had to
I
search
mean,
elsewhere. I had to search elsewhere, and I'm not going to go to random this church and that church and that church to look for
why
to look for a
not?
girl. I'm not going to do that.
Why not?
No, because that's not the reason. That shouldn't be the focal point of why I'm going to a church. You know what I'm saying? Like I shouldn't go. I
But
shouldn't.
if you're okay, let me say this. Like, look, I'm not trying to disagree with you. But here's the thing:
I think you are.
if you're trying to court a woman, right? A woman who had the belief that you believe in, isn't that the right place to go to?
Of course, it's the right place to go to, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to sit down, um, go to Google Maps and say, "Well, let me go to Calvary Chapel, see if I can
I
find a
mean,
girl there.
what's
Let me go to Trinity Church and see if I can find someone there. Let me go to Potential Church and see if I can find a girl." I'm not doing that. I'm not going to go to all these random churches
I understand that.
to search for a female.
I understand.
Okay.
That.
So what? So why? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I understand that. But they do have dating. They do have Christian dating websites. Have you been to any of them?
Yeah, you have to pay. I'm not interested in paying.
All right, well, you decided to go to POF.
Yeah, because it was
The cesspool of dating
yeah,
sites.
but POF was free. POF POF is free. Isn't it still free now?
Yeah, I haven't been there in ages. But here's the
Yeah,
thing.
I haven't been there in a long time. But I think you understand what I mean. I can't
I
just
get,
go
I
to a
get, no,
random.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But the thing is that if you're looking for a woman who had the same values as you, right? The best place to look is the same places that you go to worship God, right? That's the best place to go because I guarantee you, if you go to a random girl up on the street, she's not gonna have the same beliefs that you do. More than likely, if you can find it, then God bless you. You got lucky. But if not, if you're really serious about finding, and I know you're more about your money and stuff like that, and yeah, I got you. But like if you
I think that's universal. That
yeah,
should be.
that's universal. But if you are serious about courting somebody who has the same beliefs as you, then you have to take the extra steps to do that. You're gonna have to you have to go the extra mile to do that. And look, I'm not I'm not interested in fucking paying for a dating site, but if that's something that you're really looking for, if that's something that you really want to do, then I mean, why not? How much is it? How much is it?
Dude, I can't remember.
If
I can't.
I'll put it to you like this, right? If I was in your position, if you no more than $10, no more than $10.
A month.
Yeah. If it's
Hmm.
more than that, if there's more than that, then they can go fuck themselves. Respectfully.
I don't know how you could go respectfully with that kind of language, but but yeah, so before what yeah, so one last thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I cannot fully agree with you. I can't fully concur with you when you said, well, if you just meet a girl out in the street, or because look, you have to remember you can't because if that's the case, then going to a regular grocery store or the mall or at the beach, then what you're saying is none of those girls qualify.
No, I'm not saying I'm not saying that they're disqualified. I'm just saying that the chances of you looking for a girl that had the same core values that you do are a lot slimmer now than they were 15, 20, 25, 30, 40 years ago. You get what I'm saying?
I mean that that may be true, but I think I I would have agreed with you if you had pointed something like let's say a nightclub or something like that, or at a bar. Then I would agree with you. But like if it's at the mall or a grocery store, I don't think there's
I mean,
really.
people who go to the nightclub they go to the clubs as well. They go to the people who go to the club. They go to shopping malls, and they go to grocery stores too. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, that's true. But the chances of you going to a to a store, I mean not to a store, to a nightclub, I think you have a less chance finding somebody who has the exact same values and beliefs as I do when it comes to Christianity. I don't think you're going to find anybody who is a really devout Christian. Look, I don't want to judge. I really don't. I don't want to judge. But what I'm saying is, I think the chances decreases if you're
Yeah,
searching at a nightclub.
yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
This is a club.
yeah.
All right.
So you can't. So again, you can't necessarily blame me that I'm not going to church to church to church to church. To search for.
I get it, but if you're looking for someone who has the same core values as you have to. That's the best place to go.
Well, I think another good place is maybe at my job. Memorial, the hospital is filled with women, and the chances. I remember I was talking with somebody about this. The chances of finding a girl there, you have a really good chance because in the medical field there's more females than males anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just saturated, with chicks. I think it's around 60%, 60 or 70% when it comes to the medical field that there's 60% women and we're like
Yeah,
40%.
and naturally, if you're in close proximity to somebody, like for me, it was a lot easier to talk to women at my job than it is just randomly going up to some random chick at a mall or something like that.
Well, yeah, because the females at your job have no choice but to talk to you. Like you have to engage, with the customers. But here's the question though: have you ever tried to, ask for any of their numbers? Yes or no?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Fucking some of it was a big fucking mistake. Give a girl a number and then I text her something and then I got the fucking boyfriend calling me. Fucking garbage. Fucking garbage, man.
Oh my gosh.
All
Uh,
right,
a,
all right.
a story that you decided never to share with me or the other guys.
I no, I told Randy. I know for a fact. I told Randy. I don't know if I told you, but I told Randy. Definitely told Randy this story. This is long. This is a long time ago.
Oh, please, we have to get this started. But dude, come on, dude. What happened? Like, how did this happen?
Okay, okay. Here's the thing. One, I knew she was with somebody. I knew she was with somebody. But here's the thing. She was coming on to me first. I barely knew. I barely knew her. But we worked for a couple weeks, and I think it was the last couple days working at Tony Roma's.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to talking, and then she was flirting with me, whatever. I was flirting with her,
Mm-hmm.
and then we exchanged numbers or whatever. And then one day I didn't send her nothing crazy or nothing like that. I just sent her a tweet about what my niece did or whatever, because we had talked about that a couple weeks ago. And then I get a call. I get a call from her. I thought it was a call from her. And there's a fucking boyfriend on the line. Yeah, so
Oh my gosh! And so, what did he curse
yeah,
you out or?
no, like he's like, who is this? And I'm like, man, I hung up and I deleted the number.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. That's funny, and it's very disrespectful. Why in the world did she waste her time engaging and having a conversation or try to have a connection with you, knowing that you had a boyfriend, and that to me that just shows how much respect she has for him anyway.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't want to be with somebody like that in the first place.
I mean, I didn't try to get with. I didn't try to want to make her a girlfriend or whatever. I didn't want to do that.
Well, then, if that was the case, why did you delete the number then?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not dealing with that. No, I'm not dealing with that stupidity. Why the hell did he have your number? Why does he have your phone?
I mean, yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, let me read this stuff from Altering Mechanically, and then we can move on.
Mhm.
Every punk flyer ever knows xenophobia. But when I go to a show and I say hi to a girl, I already know by kissing her on the cheek that it's get out of here, Ramirez. I mean,
The thing about when you kiss a girl on the cheek, I still do that, till this day. Like when I greet, a female, we'll say hi. We'll even if it's a girl I just met, we'll either shake hands or hug, and then I give her a kiss on the cheek. Not to just to give her a kiss on the cheek, but traditionally, since ever since I was a kid, when we would go to church, that's how we basically greet each other. Ever since I was a child, that's how we said hello to people, in the opposite sex. You know what I'm saying? Like that was just how I grew up with. Now, if someone says that, that's not, how I roll, all right, cool. But in most cases, every time I've done that, it was really never, I never really got a negative, reaction. Now, I don't know. Now, the thing is, Huvi, I remember you used to go to church when you were young. So I don't know if that's how it was when you went to church. But
no, for me, no. Mm-mm.
okay,
I mean,
yeah.
you do that for like family members, kiss a cheek for family members,
Hmm.
but not for anything past that. It wasn't. No, it wasn't my thing. But when it comes to like random like women nowadays, nigga, all I do is give them a fist bump. That's it. They have to initiate the hug. I ain't initiating shit. All thing I'm initiating is a fist bump. That's it.
Oh man, you're so funny.
I'm
You're
I'm dead,
so
I'm dead ass serious, man. Because you never know. You could catch the wrong one who will take anything like a hug or whatever and take it like it's I'll be on the pill, right? So me, I just say I salute or fist bump. That's it.
Well, the thing is, I thought usually it's always okay, especially if it's a elderly woman. Like it's usually perfectly fine when if you're greeting, saying hi to a woman like in her like 40s, 50s, or 60s,
Mm-hmm.
and then you kiss them in the cheek. Like usually, women at that age is usually perfectly fine because like there's nothing.
Yeah,
Um,
especially if you're younger,
yeah,
then likelihood there's nothing gonna happen.
Yeah, so but for me, but the thing is, I've seen you do it all the time. Like when we had these group outings, and when you say hi to whether it was one of my exes or Randy's or whoever, we do that all the time, especially because since we already know each other. I mean, it just happens by default. But there's nothing. I don't necessarily see anything wrong with it. But if you do happen to kiss a chick on a female on the cheek and she has a problem with it, then yeah, just don't do it anymore. But for her to,
I mean, to me, it's not the first thing I would do. Like, definitely not the first thing I would do. The first thing I would do if first time ever meeting a chick, salute or fist bump. That's it. Salute or fist bump. Because like I said, you never know.
yeah,
You never know.
yeah, I would just give a hug or the girls don't really give me fist bumps. Only one does. Like usually they give me like a high five or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm even careful with that. I'm even careful with the high five. Nowadays.
really,
Yeah, I'm even careful with the high five, bro. Like, yeah, man, it is. Like I said, look, some of the stuff that Moto said is true. Like, I definitely understand where he's coming from, but you have to understand where they're coming from. Also, some girls don't like their they don't like to be like they don't like to just hug random dudes. Like, it is not their thing. You know what I mean? So like it is what it is, man.
yeah. But even if you're right, they shouldn't like press charges or have a outrage or take it to Twitter or something like that. Like come on.
Then you see some of these women, they do this thing where they'll record them they'll record themselves working out, at least working out, right, with quotation marks, right? What they do is that they do that so that they wait for a guy to approach them, and then they would and they would embarrass him on the camera, being like, oh, it's fine, I don't need your help or nothing like that, or or they'll be like, oh, you don't like, you don't have to come up to me and talk to me or whatever, when that's exactly what they're trying to do.
Wow.
This is exactly what they'll do something wrong on purpose in order for a guy to come in there, and they just use it for clout.
Yeah,
For clout.
I guarantee
That's why when I go to the gym, if I because I'm may or may not apply for a gym, I ain't talking to nobody. Leave me the fuck alone, right?
Are you serious?
No, I ain't talking to nobody. The only people I talk to are the employees. That's it. Everyone else, man, woman, no, I'm good.
Well, for you to give a statement like that proves what Malta has been saying this whole entire time. Like everybody's getting too sensitive, and society has changed for the worse, not for the better. You shouldn't have to compromise. You shouldn't have to compromise you being social. To the opposite sex because of what's been happening. Throughout the world. Like, come on, man. Like it's too much.
Honestly, it just depends on the person you're talking to. It just depends on the person you're talking to. Like some you can, like, for some girls you can kind of tell when they don't want to be bothered. And honestly, that's fine. Like, if you don't want to be bothered, you don't want to be bothered. That's fine. Like, I get it.
I don't necessarily think that the gym is the right setting for you to approach women anyway, or vice versa.
I understand that to an extent, but if someone is doing something wrong and they might hurt themselves, I feel like you should at least have the common courtesy to tell them, yo, you gotta be careful what you're doing, because like you could get yourself hurt. And that's how some of these women, because there are definitely some women who get hit on at the gym all the time, right? and I can understand that being annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely understand that being annoying. But there's other women out there who are doing this for a thirst trap. That's pretty much what they're doing it for.
Hmm.
Yeah. So Malta said, "Gotcha, bro. I'll stop talking about this so you guys can advance." I don't blame you. This is all Steve's fault.
Wait, how did this become my fault?
Because I told you let's get to the topic, and you dragged me into another conversation.
No, 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 no. All I wanted to just talk about was the Spider-Man. That was it. All I wanted to talk about, was Spider-Man. And then I think Malta brought up the whole, the whole gender stuff.
Oh, that's fine.
That-
I'm blaming you. I'm blaming you. McKinley said, even if you speak the truth, you'll get canceled.
that's exactly what. See, that's exactly what I'm
Oh,
talking about.
hold on. Let me read this from him. He said that he got into Facebook jail when I said stuff about Amber Heard long ago. Well, what did you say about Amber Heard?
Yeah, we want to. Yeah, you need to give us details, McKinley.
And don't sugarcoat it either. Like,
Yeah.
because a lot of people be like, oh well, I all I did was speak the truth and they banned me. No, it depends on what you said. It depends on what you said. I caught one Xbox dude one time saying, "Oh, I was only saying this and that. I didn't say nothing bad about it." And then you see him cursing up on the developer.
Are you for real?
Yeah, like fucking idiot. So yeah, so you need I need because I know McKinley, you're a good dude. So you're a nice dude. So I need to know what you said about Amber Heard that got you in Facebook jail.
Yeah, I want to know too. So spit it out.
And also, Facebook is a very sensitive place. I know Randy's gotten into Facebook jail several times, but I understand that with Randy. Like,
Yeah,
Steve, like
but
Mota
but
said,
but yeah, but you see how when he said when you speak the truth you get canceled. Like I remember I posted this at least twice on Twitter. When you tell the truth, it is now considered hate speech. That's what it is. And I remember I told you this a long time ago when you and I had the three-way with Mr. B, and I told you that this was going to happen. But now speaking the truth is hate speech.
well, not what the truth to you may not be the same for everyone else.
Wait. So speaking facts is wrong?
It depends. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It just depends on how you say it. It depends on how you say it. It depends on what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Malta said Steve is always an outrage. They'll
Steve.
call security. No, like, he's agreeing with you. He's agreeing with you. Like, they'll call security on me. I have a friend that kissed a girl on the cheek, was accused of abusing her and on Instagram stories and shit.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, all right, Malta. Okay, I have to say this right now. You kissing the girl on the cheek. Like,
No, he said he had a friend.
okay, the guy that kissed the girl on the cheek. Like, was this him? First time meeting the chick. Like, this was their first time meeting. Now you don't have to go into precise detail, but I'm just curious. Go ahead, Hooli.
All right. McKinley said that I said Amber's full of shit because her abuse marks look Photoshop and makeup. Now, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand at the time, you like every abuse case has to be taken seriously. Has to be taken seriously. It doesn't mean that he's guilty or that she's lying or nothing like that. But you do have to take it seriously because if it ends up being true, then you end up looking like a jackass. You get what I'm saying? If you say that her marks look fake and shit like that, and then it ends up being true, then you just look like a jackass. And a lot of dudes fall into this trap because they spend more time trying to prove the woman is lying or faking or this and that, as opposed to just being like, okay, I'm gonna wait till this whole thing play out, instead of minding their own business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, because you have to, because based on that comment, McKinley, like, I understand why they did what they did to you, on Facebook. Now,
Wow, really?
no, I do because
You're on their side.
no. You have to take cases like that seriously. You have to take it seriously. It's not an admission of guilt on Johnny Depp's part. It's not saying that she's lying or telling the truth. What I'm saying is that you have to take that stuff seriously. And if she's full of shit like she ended up being, then you get to roast her. then you roast her. Wait till the facts come out, and then you roast her ass. Just wait. Some dudes don't wait. They just get so, and people don't wait. They just start just going in and being like, "Oh, she's lying. Oh, how dare you, Johnny Depp? How dare you do this and that?" And everyone just start jumping to conclusions. When all you have to do is wait, and you can have your opinion, but just wait. And then when the truth comes out, then you start piling on. Then you start doing that. All right. So he also said that and pointed out that Johnny Depp's ex has never been abused and said Amber is an attention-seeking attention-seeking pig-headed woman, and said in the Me Too
That's
that
funny.
they were idiots. No, yeah, I get it. I get it. Malta said that he was saying bye after a conversation.
Wait. Hold on. Wait a minute. So they were talking. They were already socializing. Usually, when you're talking to somebody, I'm going to the assumption that the two of you are comfortable, the two of you are enjoying each other's company, and the two of you decided to say bye, embrace, and you kiss the girl on the cheek, and then she complains. I don't get it. And see, this is what I'm talking about. When you have situations, like this, I honestly believe they are just doing it for attention, and they just want to, it's just victim mentality, just for the sake of getting somebody else in trouble. That's it. That's it.
All I'm gonna say is this, right? Now, I listened to Bomani Jones. You heard of Bomani Jones, right?
Hmm.
He told a story about a friend that he knew, a good friend that he knew, where he was accused of rape.
Oh, jeez.
And all this time he said, "No, there's no way." Like cause he had spent all the time with him, and he said that he didn't like it was never like he never thought that it would happen. What ended up happening was that his friend not only was accused of the rape, right, found guilty, but also they had other victims.
Wow. Other victims.
Yeah. So again, I'm not saying Malta's lying or nothing like that. All I'm saying that there could be more to the story than even he knows.
Mm.
It could be even more to the story. Now it could be what you just said. It could be that she's just being full of shit. It could be that. It could be more than that. So let me read a couple more, and then McKinley said that Johnny Depp won the case, and then Malta said, "Dude, if a guy from Europe kisses me on the cheek, I would think he's gay. However, they are from Europe. I would either kiss them back or tell them I prefer to kiss chicks. Chicks on the cheek."
Look. You might have something to say, but
Mhm.
regardless if you do or you don't, I have this to say. I don't give a crap what traditional values they hold over there. Ain't no guy going to be kissing me.
Listen, I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him. We don't do that shit here, bro. Where I'm
Yes,
from, we don't do that. We don't do that.
exactly.
And
They ain't. Go ahead.
I don't think men kiss each other on the cheek in Europe I don't think that's the case altogether. I think it's more of a kiss the cheek thing when it comes to men and women, or maybe family members. But I don't think total stranger. I don't think so.
Yeah, but even with a family member, do you kiss your brother?
No, fuck no.
all,
No.
all right then. Then
Dude,
me.
I don't even hug my brother.
That's something that you have to.
I mean, if we do hug, we do the bro hug. That's we do the handshake and then the hug.
Yeah,
No actual hug. No.
yeah. Like the only guy that I ever accepted a kiss from, like when my dad would kiss me in the forehead,
Mhm.
or things like that's fine. Like I'm perfectly okay with that. But anybody else, no.
And my dad did that to me one time.
Yeah,
One
but do it.
Yeah, and now because he was on his way to go to jail.
Oh my god. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not gonna. Having that. Where did that come from, man? Like,
I'm dead. I serious,
I'm
man.
trying not to laugh. My bad, bro. That.
Yeah. I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story after we're done.
Oh man, where did that come from, bro? But
No,
oh yeah,
it is what it is what it is, bro. Like it is what it is. It's it was his fault. But anyway,
yeah,
regardless of that.
yeah. All right, let's Are you gonna read the others, or can we move on now?
No, we're good. We're good.
Yeah. So yeah, let's move on. But no, I actually like this discussion here, but I am going to stick to my guns though. That it really just depends on the setting where you're at when it comes to interacting with a female. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I remember quickly, there were times when I was searching for a girl, and then you criticized me because you said, "Oh, they're shopping. Why are you talking? Why are you trying to approach this girl and she's shopping?" Like I honestly,
That's just my mentality. Like that's just my mentality. I don't like when I'm shopping. I don't like being bothered.
yeah, and I honestly do think that's a good legitimate reason. But when you think about it, when anybody is out and about, in most cases they're always doing something. If they're at the mall, they're obviously shopping. If they're at the I don't know, at the beach, maybe they're getting a tan, you know what I'm saying? So like everybody's always doing something. But I honestly do believe it really just depends on the actual setting. I honestly think the gym is the one of the worst places to for a man to talk to or approach a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think you should do it there. You shouldn't do it at the airport, not at the courthouse. You know what I'm saying? Like there are just certain places where, like, dude, what the hell are you doing? But at your job, I think it's perfectly fine. At the mall, at the grocery store, I think it's fine. If you're at the nightclub, go ahead. Do your thing. But yeah, the gym, absolutely not.
I
I don't think so.
I actually think a airport is actually a good place to talk to women.
The airport?
Yeah.
Explain.
Nah, we got to move on.
I'm really curious. I'm really curious. I'm sorry.
No, I just like to me. I just feel like it's a one. You're gonna be doing a bunch of waiting.
Hmm.
I mean, they ain't doing nothing. Ain't doing nothing else. All you doing at the airport is if you're waiting for somebody or you're waiting for your flight, whatever. You're just waiting. So like you strike up a conversation, and if she's not interested, she's not interested. But yeah, but but in other cases, like it's actually I don't think it's the worst place in the world to talk to women.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Nolan.
He said he preferred the church.
Okay. Nolan, appreciate you coming. I wish you were here earlier,
Yeah.
but real quick, Nolan, Havino mentioned the church to me, and I told him, like, sometimes is actually very hard to talk to a girl at a church because, one, you could be at a church where they're not of your age, or they're just simply not enough. And his suggestion was, well, there's a lot of churches that I could go to, but the problem is, it wouldn't really look good on your behalf to visit church after church after church just for the sake of trying to meet somebody. You know what I'm saying? I think if the church that you should go probably meet a female is basically your home church, or if you want to visit one other church, like a secondary church, I guess that's fine. But yeah, the church is one of the best options, for us, since we do share, the same values, and we believe in God, and that's really the ultimate goal for me. If you don't believe in God, is really not going to work for you. Because believe me, I tried. I've dated girls that did not believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, and it did not go well. It did not go well for me at all. So yeah.
All right. Well, all right. This is your topic, bro.
Yes.
Now we're into the podcast.
Um, I knew he was going to say that. Okay. So, first topic. This is one of the reasons why I always was into, emulators, ROMs, whatever you want to call them. And basically, it says here that Ubisoft is ending classic Assassin's Creed Splinter Cell support. Ubisoft is ending support for classic Assassin's Creed and Far Cry games, including the last Splinter Cell game, such as multiplayer and even DLC. Um, let's see. All right. I want to get to like the nitty gritty stuff.
Well, you start from the beginning. It's important to talk. Start from the beginning.
All right. So get your last round of the original Assassin's Creed multiplayer in because it'll be removed in September 2022. Ubisoft confirmed it is ending online support for many of its old games, including many of its classic Assassin's Creed games, Far Cry 3, and the final Prince of Persia and Splinter Cell games, shutting off access to multiplayer and even DLC. All right. Any comments so far?
Not surprising.
All right. Ubisoft today released a list of classic games that is planned to pull support from the 2022, and PC is particularly badly affected. The decommissioning of online services naturally include multiplayer, so any active servers will be shut down. However, more upsetting is that many PC games will have the installation and access to DLC removed, which isn't happening with the console versions. I'm actually a little confused with that. What is it saying?
That they'll have the installation and access to DLC removed. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, what it seemed to me is that any DLC that they bought on PC will be removed.
Installations.
That any DLC that they bought for the game will also be removed from the game.
Wow.
That
Wow.
I've never heard that before. That's insane.
That is crazy. A game that you purchased.
And this not, and like they said here, this is not going on console. This is going on PC.
Well, once again, I've tried to tell this to all these PC gamers. I tried to tell this to Riddler. I tried to tell this to Yoshi.
Oh
When
well.
it, what happened?
Nolan said that. Well, let me read some of Nolan's comment. Nolan said that Ass Creed is man. Anyways, I agree. I don't like Assassin's Creed. Splinter Cell and Prince of Persia is the ish. So, he said that they'll have no PC servers, but Xbox and PS servers will run any online play. I don't know if that says it on there. They said that they're shutting down the multiplayer servers. That's what they said for everything, and he said that it's common. But this is the first time I heard of it. But like Nolan seems like he knows what he's talking about, so I'll take his word for it.
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, Nolan. The only thing is, I'm okay. Let me just read this one more time. I really want to get this right. So it says, however, more upsetting is that many PC games will have the installation and access to DLC removed.
Yeah,
Which
that mean to me, it seemed to me is that any DLC that you bought and DLC that you have in the game will be removed.
like you see that's the. I mean, will they be able? Will they have lawsuits if we're interpreting this thing right? I bought the game. Like, how dare you remove it? From my server. It's
Remove
I
the
paid
DLC portion of it. Yeah,
What happened?
removing the DLC portion of it.
Yeah, but even if it's just the DLC portion, I still bought the game cash.
Yeah. Well, PC gamers. We know they don't buy their shit.
So what right do you have to remove a game or DLC or feature, whatever it is, if I already paid for it?
Nolan said that I believe they mean they'll end support for those servers, like no updates or hacker boots. I guess, but continue reading. Continue reading.
All right. So while the remasters of Far Cry 3 and Assassin's Creed 3 are not affected,
Okay.
the EZO trilogy.
Yeah, I think is it
Ezo?
Ezio or Enzo? Regardless, I think it's Ezio.
F? No, it's the E.
Ezio.
Ezio?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll take your word for it. So, Ezio Trilogy remasters are not currently available on PC, so that's a little upsetting. It's also sad to see the final games in the Splinter Cell and Prince of Persia series in there. Well, final until the much delayed new Splinter Cell game and Splinter Cell Prince of Persia remake comes out. All right, so here's a list of Ubisoft games having online support shut down. Keyword here, everybody, shut down, which includes multiplayer, online features, and DLC access. So we have what is this game? You heard this game before?
Mm,
I know
no.
2070 Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Liberation HD. Damn, like all Assassin's Creed games. Original release, Driver, San Francisco, Far Cry 3, Prince of Persia, Silent Hunter 5, Space Junkies, and Splinter Cell Black. This is a lot of games we're talking about here.
Mhm.
We're talking about a lot of games that they're going to be removing. Old PC games never die, but they take a knock. They take a knock now and again. More Assassin's Creed 3 stories. Okay, blah blah blah. I think that's the end of the
Cool. Okay, okay,
I
okay.
think that's the end of the.
All right. Let me read some stuff from Nolan. Excuse me. Nolan said,
Mhm.
"I believe they removed online play DLC. They shouldn't do single player DLC." I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that. I don't understand. I
Wait, hold
don't.
on. Read it again because I can't see it.
He said that I believe they remove if I'm going to assume he meant if they remove online DLC or my bad. I'm my bad. My bad. I believe they remove online play DLC. They shouldn't do single player DLC. I agree with that.
Well, I don't think they should remove either one. I don't think they should. I don't think they should remove either one. Now, and here's why. You know how I feel about game what do you call it
Preservation.
preservation, right?
Hmm.
And I've always said the same way how we have access to old movies and old music, we should have access, to all video games, all of them, regardless if the companies still exist or not. We should still have access, to every single game that was released to the public. That's how I feel about it. And a lot of people may say that, well, it costs money, to keep these games active or to keep them in servers and whatnot. But just simply, just find a way, because at the end of the day, people are going to find a way, to have emulators anyway. So, like, if you could find, some type of server where it supports, 100%, emulation, and so we have access to all of these games, figure out a way. But when you remove DLC, multiplayer, or just games 100%, in general, you're doing a disservice, to the fan base. You're doing a disservice. Like, common sense should tell you, these developers, these publishers, that we play classic games, that we play old games. Hell, we still play, we still play Street Fighter 2. And that's a Super Nintendo game. It's a Super Nintendo game, and we still playing, Street Fighter 2 games. So I don't really understand the mindset of removing any games, for that matter. Like, I don't think any game, once a game has been released to the public, let the game be, let people have access to the game for a lifetime.
Okay. Let me read some more comments. Is this Torian the same Torian that we know? Torian Anderson, or do you know this person?
Yeah.
That's him.
That's the same Torian. Yeah, I
Shout out to
introduced you to.
the homie Torian. Shout out to him.
What's up, Torian? It's a pleasure to see you joining us live, brother.
All Prince of Persia is on sale for Steam for like $9. That what he said. Nolan said that the modding community isn't worried. Yeah, so they don't have to worry about that. Torian said that it may be a copyright problem. That if a company is down, they may not want to take their game with them. Now here's the thing: when games shout out to you, Torian, man. Hopefully you're doing well. Now according to going to what Torian was saying, right?
Hmm.
Sometimes the company when they're filing for bankruptcy, what
Hmm.
they'll do is that they'll whatever property that they don't want, they'll sell it off to somebody. They'll put it up for sale,
So they'll sell all their assets.
pretty much.
Okay.
That's what THQ did originally. I think Midway did that when they went bankrupt. Um, but the company do that nowadays. Like games that get lost in the ether because the company went out of business or whatever. They're always gonna try to sell their the gaming rights to somebody. They're always gonna try to sell their property to somebody.
Um, yeah, but that's it. But that's only if they're will go bankrupt. But that still doesn't mean we shouldn't have access to the games, though.
I understand what you're saying. Like when it comes to what Ubisoft is doing, I mean the servers. I mean, look, they're not going to keep the servers up forever. They're not going to. They're not going to.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it is what it is. There. The thing that I'm confused about is what they're doing with PC. That's what I'm confused with. Like, because the way that phrase was stated about the removal of the installation, and I think you said access of DLC.
Yeah.
That means that you're going into those games and removing the DLC from those games and the DLC that they already paid for.
Right.
Now, if you want to play the game single player, like it is what it is. That's fine. But if you bought DLC, and let's say you want to play it, whatever for whatever reason, if you don't have access to the DLC that you paid for, that's a problem. To me, that's a problem.
That's a big problem.
That's a problem, at least in my opinion.
That's a big problem. There's a difference between having Game Pass, and if you're no longer a subscriber and you lose all the the games that you had access to, that's different. But when you're talking about a game that you rightfully own, that you rightfully purchase, and your own money, they should have no right to take that away from you anymore, because it's yours.
Let me read this let me read a couple comments from Ruben Cogburn. You know this person?
Ruben, I believe I do. Yes. It's Jermaine. He's
Okay.
yeah. I know him.
Yeah, it's like, hey guys, it's Jermaine.
Shout out to you, Ruben. Appreciate you joining us, brother.
Okay. and then Charmaine said that considering Uplay is being maintained, they need to keep those servers up because that is your flagship game. That's interesting that he mentioned that because Uplay, that's Ubisoft's game service or whatever the hell they call it, right? Now that's their thing. So if I buy Assassin's Creed on Uplay, I should have access to everything that's there.
100%.
I should have access to it because that's yours. It's one thing if you're going to do that for, let's say, if you're going to do that on Steam, if you're going to move the games on Steam because of whatever copyright thing or whatever, that's fine. Because that's not your platform. If you're going to do that for PlayStation, whatever, because that's not your platform. Uplay is your platform. Uplay is your platform. So everything I buy there, everything that I do there should be there, period. Including the online servers. Because that's your thing. If I'm paying, I don't remember if Uplay is free or not. I don't remember if it is. All I know is that every time I played an Ubisoft game, I had to sign up for Uplay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's free. I don't know if it's free, but if I'm paying for that service, I feel like every game should be there. But I don't know. I don't know if Uplay is free or not. I don't know. Maybe Charmaine or Nolan can let me know if there's a premium version of that service. Then yeah, there shouldn't be no game that should be offline. Okay, so you said Nolan said that Uplay. Let me read. I'll read some of these other comments, but let me read this from Nolan. He said that Uplay is like Steam. You buy it and it's yours. Okay, and that's their platform. That's their platform. So if I buy it there, I should have everything that came with it. And the online server should not be shut down.
Yes, the online service should not be shut down.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
But here what, and I just thought about this, right? Thought about this. Green and Rockstar did the same thing with Grand Theft Auto. remember when the Grand Theft Auto trilogy remaster was coming out, what story did we hear about? Them removing mods from the old games. They were I forgot what else were they doing. I don't know if they were removing game, but they were definitely removing mods from the game.
Right.
And they were sending out DMCA's and all that other stuff. And the reason why they did that is because they didn't want their lazy attempt at a remaster to compare to the awesome work that the modders did with their own games.
Oh snap! Are you
And a
for
lot,
real?
yeah, and a lot of that stuff happened on Rockstar's launcher, on the Rockstar launcher, where they were removing mods and all the other stuff. They did all that fuck shit on their platform. They probably did something on Steam as well, but I remember specifically that they did that on their launcher. Bethesda, they tried to charge people to mod their shit for Fallout and all the other games using the Bethesda store or whatever they call it, Bethesda window launcher, whatever the hell they call it.
Yeah.
So even though I keep saying that, oh, Ubisoft, because it's their own launcher, well, because it's their own launcher, they can get away with this fuck shit. They can get away with it because every other company's done it. Every other company's done it. So
Yeah, like I didn't Nintendo do the exact same thing.
uh,
Wasn't Nintendo removing people's when fans were making like different Mario games, and then they suddenly made their own. Cause remember, people were
oh
making
no, no.
Mario Maker. Go
That's
ahead.
different. They the idea is the same, but the difference is they were trying to remove all the Nintendo like maker stuff like and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They were removing it because obviously because they were making their own game. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I guarantee you, they got that idea, from the fans.
Yeah,
They if it wasn't for them, we would have never had a Mario Maker game.
yeah. But they
But
didn't do it. But they did that on they just look for random Nintendo like games like that. I'm sure someone tipped them off to it, and that's what they did.
yeah,
That's what they did. Let me read some more comments. Nolan said that at least relaunch a bundle so you only maintain one game, just rebuy it. And then
well, see, the thing is, Nolan, people shouldn't have to go through that anyway, because they bought the game in the first place. So when you buy the game, or if you purchase, the DLC, and now they're going to close that game down that you invested in, that you put all your hard work in, or that you just want to go back for, whether if it's for nostalgia, or you just want to go back and finish the game, and then you have to rebuy the game because they want to be lazy about it. Like, that should not go at the expense of the players. It should not be at the expense for us. We already bought the game already. Why should we buy it the second time?
all right.
You know what I mean?
All right. So Ruben said if you don't want to look like garbage by modders, then they need to do what Steam does and launch a shop for modders where modders can charge for their DLC. So
I kind of really don't understand. How does that work? Like, do you understand that, Hoovy?
let me see. Let me read it again. If they don't want to look like garbage by modders, then they need to do what Steam does and launch a shop for modders where modders can charge for their DLC.
So the modders will so it seems like what you're saying is that the modders will be making the money, though. If that's what, if I'm interpreting it right.
I I don't know, but I think that but what the thing that you notice is that they were in dispute where they were getting rid of stuff just to prepare to release the remaster. And a part of me feel like this is what Ubisoft is trying to do also.
Mm-hmm.
I do think they're going to try to do a remaster of some of their older games. That's what I think.
Okay. Okay. To nickel and dime us again. That's pretty much to nickel and dime us again.
Yeah, and Ruben said that it's called Steam Workshop. So I think that's what he was referring to, and Nolan said the same thing here. And Nolan also said depends on the studio, but some people offer a discount for legacy players. So,
Hmm.
anyways, on that
But
note, yeah, go
that,
ahead.
like, okay, I remember you and I had this discussion, a while back. Like, there are certain games, because I don't want to sound like a hypocrite here, or I don't want to sound like I'm contradicting myself, right? But I know there are certain games that are out there that I'm pretty sure universally we wouldn't really mind if those games were removed. Like, for example, sports games. Like, I'm pretty sure nobody would care if if we had a Madden 2012 was removed. Like, nobody would care about that.
Mhm.
Just as an example, like, nobody would care. And I think, frankly, most simulators, I don't think people would really care if those were removed, because people would only want to play the updated versions.
Yeah.
I don't think people care about the first Gran Turismo. People don't care about NBA 2K13, or NBA Live 13. Like, we don't care about those. But when it comes to games that are story based, arcade games, whether it's Call of Duty, et cetera, et cetera. Those games, should remain on the servers so we can have access to play them at all times. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I don't know if I'm making sense to you.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't remove every single game out there just because. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like, whatever. I don't even think in the article they gave a legit reason why they're removing the games.
Yeah, I don't think they did. I just think that
Yeah.
they just shut. I just think that they're just shutting the servers down. Just because a lot of these games are old. Like a lot of these games are old. So and they're on, and a lot of these games are on PS3, 360, which are a couple of console generation behind.
Hmm.
Wii U, which was a complete another failure. Like it's yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot of the older games. So yeah, I mean it is what it is.
But again, these developers, these publishers, common sense, should register into their mind. Like, I mean, it's clear that they don't have the foresight to see that game preservation is still irrelevant to this day. Otherwise, we wouldn't have people wouldn't be modding their games at this point. People would not be downloading or pirating old games. People would not be modding games or emulators, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the proper term is. But regardless, if people were not doing that, then I could understand why you would probably want to remove the games from your library. But these games are still relevant, till this day, regardless of how old they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, they may be old, but I think game preservation is still relevant, till this day. This is the reason why I'm constantly harping or constantly bringing up, old movies and old music. When it comes to music, people still listen to the Beatles. For goodness sake, I still listen to Michael Jackson. People still listen to Elvis. People still listen to Tupac and Biggie Small because they're good music. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an ultimate shelf life when it comes to the music industry or the movie industry. And
Here's the difference. Here's the difference. And you're not going to like what I have to say. It don't cost music studios money when you listen to a song. It don't cost a movie studio money when you watch an old movie. It costs Ubisoft money. Now I don't know how much it costs Ubisoft, but it costs Ubisoft money to run servers for games that aren't being used, for games that aren't being played. Now I don't know how many people are playing Ubisoft on old Ubisoft game online.
Mhm.
It's probably like what, one or two people maybe you know on regardless. So they're going to try to save money any way that they can. So they're gonna try to save money, and this is how they look to save money.
So you think movies fall under the same category too? Because I guarantee you, people are still watching old. Let me give an example. Like my brother, we were just talking about this, where people would probably still watch. the original Star Wars movie episode 4, 5, and 6
Yeah, but it don't cost the studio money to for you to watch it.
was but they're on but they're still on servers. Like you could, I don't know if it's on Netflix or if it's on Hulu or whatever, but I mean, doesn't don't they aren't they still
I mean,
making
if,
money?
if Netflix pays them to put that movie or whatever on their platform, they pay them. They pay LucasArts or whatever whoever owns the Star Wars thing. They pay them. Netflix pays them. They lose money every time those servers are up, and you have these servers up that cost money when there's no one playing on them.
So they should have a third party to pay Ubisoft to keep those games running. That it seems that that's what you're saying.
No, I mean to me, I just think that if you want to make your if you want to make you play desirable, I would make it seem like, okay, if you want to play these games online, you have to buy them from Uplay, and we'll keep those games online. But you have to pay. But you obviously have to pay. You have to pay for a subscription fee or something like that.
A subscription fee.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but when we just mentioned Star Wars. I mean, because now that Disney owns Marvel and they own Lucas, that's Disney's own server though.
Mhm.
That's Disney's own server, and you could watch just about any Disney movie that you want. And
But
you and I talked about this just a few months ago when I can't remember if what music server you have. I think you said you had Pandora before, but then you upgraded to iTunes or Spotify. Which one do you have?
I have Spotify. I have SoundCloud. I have Apple Music.
Yeah, and the reason why you have multiple ones is because not all of them carry the same type of music that you like.
Yeah.
I get I understand that, but are you paying for all three?
No, no, only SoundCloud and Apple.
Okay, so the other one is basically free.
Yeah, and I don't use Spotify for music anymore. I use it for podcasts.
Well, then that way, then I guess you're only partially right then, because how are they making money if you're not paying for that service with all the music that you're listening to? Because
I
two
mean,
out of
they
three
they
you're only
they pay,
paying.
like, Spotify pays to have, like, for the Joe Rogan show, whatever, right? Joe Rogan made a whole bunch of money with Spotify. They paid to get that service on there because they know that people are going to subscribe to Spotify for that podcast, to listen to that podcast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just how it is. But when it comes to what Ubisoft is doing, or at least when it comes to what I said, like, when it comes to running servers that where there's no one playing on them, like, it's just all they're doing is just wasting money.
So you're on their side for removing them, then, right?
I mean, I can't blame them for removing them, but I'm just trying to figure out why are you removing that stuff from Uplay. That's what I'm not understanding. You have your own service,
Yeah.
so why are you removing it? Why are you removing it from Uplay? That's what I'm not understanding.
Well, they need to give us answers. We need answers.
Well, I mean, they never give us a reason. I mean, I think we all know why, because those games are old. I think, I don't think they want to say that. All right, so Ruben said that, I mean, with the cloud, all those servers can be scaled down. Oh, I'll read this part from Joshua. Shout out to Joshua. I'll read this part a little bit later when we get to the topic.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. What's going on, nephew?
So Ruben also said if they run their own server, they should be able to manage them. I agree. I agree with that. Oh, well, I didn't even put it up there. I agree. The family is under the same team. Oh, I think he's talking about Steph Curry. Um, and no one said that, but there is no way to avoid remaster. Studios want their cash on old stuff they did that they remastered. Yeah, I agree with that too.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. But pretty much to sum it up, they want to nickel and dime people. I mean, that's technically what it is. They just want to nickel and dime people on old games that now they want that they want us to pay for. And again, We do not have to do that when it comes to listening to old music or watching old movies. We don't have to do that. There's no nickel and diming that you now. Well, I'm kind of wrong because if you want to buy an old Michael Jackson album, you still would have to you still would have to pay for it, but it's yours. It's not going to be removed. But when it comes to the DLC stuff, they want to remove the DLC from you, despite the fact that you paid for it. Like I'm sorry, I don't care what the reason is. I don't care if they are spending too much money. I bought it. I bought the DLC. I should be able to keep it for life. So that's pretty much my final take because I don't want to get too upset with about it. So what do you have to say?
Ruben said that just like people listen to Stern on XM. Yeah, yeah, I remember. I remember when he moved to XM. That was a big deal when he moved to XM. And Nolan said, "I don't have an issue if you want a remastered collection every 15 years." Yeah, I guess so. I guess I'm in the same boat. On me,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
no,
Oh yeah.
I mean, to me, just to wrap this all up, like I don't give a shit about Ubisoft, so I can't pretend to be upset about this. And most of the games that they're ending are games that I don't care about. With that said, there is something that I do find interesting with this, but at the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is. I think they're likely going to release a new collection of some of these older games to just to modernize them and nickel and dime us. And look, at the end of the day, real games in general is nickel and diming you. Ever since the arcade, this is about nickel and diming you.
Mm-hmm.
At least make the game good. At least make it worth my while to nickel and dime you to get nickel and dimed. I don't mind getting taken advantage of if it's good, if the product is good. But when it comes to Ubisoft, the games that they make now are not good, and the game that they're getting rid of are games I don't care about. So
Oh
again,
wow. Real quick, I was looking this up. I'm just gonna read, just the first sentence, but I want you to see what I just saw.
mhm.
So real quick, it said here that look what it says. It says if you haven't used your Ubisoft account in a while, there's a chance the game publisher might nuke your account for being inactive.
Wow.
That's the reality one gamer said he discovered after stepping away from PC gaming for more than a year. In 2020, I sold my PC because I was gaming way too much and it went a bit overboard and healthy way of doing it. I made a choice to work and attend school. A Norwegian,
Mm-hmm.
is that say Norwegian
No, we
gamer, Norwegian gamer named Tor, who wished to be identified only by his first name, told PC World. He sold off his Core i7 and GeForce GTX 1080 Ti machine and began relying on his phone as his only piece of technology. By the summer of 2021, Tor decided to get back into gaming, so he purchased a new gaming PC, only to discover he was unable to log into his Ubisoft account. Wow. Wow. And he told PC World he was able to reset the password, but eventually learned that the account has been closed. So, all right, so pretty much it's already been happening.
that's garbage.
That see,
That's garbage.
bro,
Because
dude,
it's one thing. Look, it's one thing to do that to a Twitter account or a Facebook account.
mhm.
Is one thing, but you're doing that to an account that has spent like you said, he said he had a bad gaming addiction, whatever. Is one thing to do that to an account that has that you spent money on,
Yeah,
and it's not like you're being it's not like it was like or if he was being like a dickhead online or whatever. It ain't nothing like that. He just took a break. It was just inactive for a year,
you're right.
and they just completely nuked it. Uh,
Oh my gosh.
and people wonder why I hate this fucking company so much. And people wonder why I hate this company so much.
Yeah, and in case anybody wants to read the rest of it, it's let me see what is it? It's PC World, yeah, PCWorld.com, and the headline is, could GDPR policy erase your games. It happened to a Ubisoft customer. So yeah, um, it pretty much already been happening. And once again, I want to say this one last thing, right? This is what I mean by how I don't mind online. I don't mind things being digital. But it's like I have always said before, generations ago, like many generations ago, that you and I had this discussion about, and I had predicted that this would happen. That the more things become online, the more digital games that we have, and everything's is about streaming, the less control that we will have. He had absolutely no control over his account anymore, and we have no control over our games. And I don't like where the industry is heading at. I really don't like the fact that I no longer have a say of what games I can and cannot play, or if I could play this game online, or if I could play single
But
player, on this game.
but
I don't like
that,
the direction where the gaming industry is
but
going.
that's the trade off that you make when you buy digital, as opposed to physical. Because when it comes to digital, the benefits of buying digital is that, oh, hey, I don't have to leave my house. You could get a better deal buying digital, depending on where you go. And you don't have to go nowhere.
Hmm.
But when it comes to physical, you have the biggest advantage for physical, that you have physical ownership of what you have. Now, they can, with the technology, they can still go in there and kind of like nuke the online support or whatever. But as long as you have the physical game, that's yours.
Yes.
So that's the trade. That's just the trade off that you have to make when it comes to digital and physical. Like, and then I'll read some of this stuff and then we can move on.
Hmm.
Nolan said that arcade more quartered and dollared you. That's true. That's true. I remember my mom got upset with me a long time ago when we were in a laundromat, and
Oh man, the laundromats were the best place to be
yeah,
at the time. Oh my
and
gosh.
he was upset that I used laundry money to play to play.
I did the exact same thing to my mom, bro. I did the exact same thing to my mom and my dad. Like, one time, she had, this bucket, full of, detergent and things like that. And she left all of her quarters in there.
Yeah,
And one by one, I would take the quarters, either play Street Fighter, play, they used to have Sonic on laundromats. I don't know if you
yeah.
remember. They had the first and second Sonic on laundromats. There was this racing, not this racing, but this car game. It was a convertible, and the chick was a passenger. I
Or
forgot what.
was it Daytona USA?
It was from Sega. It could be that.
Outrun. It could be Daytona or Outrun. It has to be one of those two.
Okay, so even you,
It's one of those two. It's one of those two.
yeah. Oh my gosh, I love playing that game, and there were the Pac Mans, and there was Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I would just constantly spend all of her laundry money in the arcades. Oh, the memories, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, she got upset. She got upset for sure.
Yeah, and no one says Outrun, so I was right. You said that's effed up deleting the whole account,
It
and
is.
he checked his Ubisoft account and it's still active, and yeah. So yeah. So I mean, Ubisoft sucks. That's just how it is.
Yeah, they suck, and shame on them, for doing this to their fan base. Shame on them.
Yeah. And Ruben said that Daytona had no passengers. So, oh yeah, Daytona was. I think Daytona was the NASCAR game. Then it was the NASCAR game. All right.
Yeah. It was Outrun because it was a red convertible,
Yeah.
and the chick, I'm sure she had like blonde hair. I believe the passenger. It was some chick, and yeah, I never really understood what that game was about. Like, did you ever knew what was it? What was the premise of the game? Like, what was it for?
I thought it was just a race.
It was just a race. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I can remember. That's what I
Yeah,
can remember. So
I was so bad in that game.
yeah. Yeah. So okay. So next topic, we're gonna talk about NBA free agency. Now we are gonna talk about trades as well. So this trades and stuff like that. We're gonna talk about that, right? So as you
Mhm.
see, that's Zach Levine. He signed a 5-year max extension to stay with the Bulls. I'm high on him. I think that's good.
I think he definitely gotten better over the years. Like, he's
Yeah.
he's definitely gotten better. So yeah.
Yeah. So so the only thing I'm just covering major free agency news.
Yeah,
So
just big names. Yeah, just relevant names.
yeah. So let's see here. All right. So I'm just scrolling down right here. Um. Okay. All right. So all right. Well, Denver. Okay. So obviously they signed Nikola Jokic to a new extension, right? They
Hmm.
also signed DeAndre Jordan, so he's gonna be the backup. And Bruce Brown, I think he was with Brooklyn. Oh, trust we're gonna go to them in a second.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
so they signed Bruce Brown. Okay, okay. Let me see. I'm just looking.
I think DeAndre Jordan. That dude is washed, man. That dude is so complete washed.
Yeah, trust me, we'll get to him too. Trust me. All right, so Lakers they signed a couple people, and it's important because apparently the Lakers hasn't have enough to trade for people, but I don't know. The biggest name that they signed for the offseason was Lonnie Walker.
Hmm.
He used to be with the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs seem to be going on complete tank mode, so they're going complete tank mode. So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
signed-
I feel bad for Popovich, man. Oh man.
so they signed Lonnie Walker to a 1 year deal. Let me see here. Um. Okay. Oh, I do want to mention this because I was listening to one of our old podcasts and on you had a rant on Wesley Matthews saying that he did nothing in that series with Boston.
Oh, you was listening to that. You was listening to that podcast.
Hmm.
Why?
I don't know, just random.
Okay.
Um, but
All right.
they signed them to a 1 year deal. So I
Yeah. Well, why do you think he doing something just for 1 year deal?
don't know.
Why is that? Because the guy sucks. That's why.
All right.
The guy sucks.
Okay.
Well, at least in the playoffs, he really didn't do any much of anything. So, yeah, that's why I went on a rant on him. That's why he rightfully deserved only a 1 year deal. That's it. That's all you get. That's all you get. All right, go ahead, move on.
All right. So Zion Williamson he signed his 5 year extension. So it doesn't mean that he doesn't want. That doesn't mean that he doesn't want to. Does he doesn't still don't want to be traded? It is that now he's gonna make his money.
Now on Twitter, I don't know if you saw my Twitter feed when I
Mhm.
mentioned Zion. I don't know if you saw it,
No,
but
no.
I but I basically said on Twitter that how is it that a guy who only played in the course of his career 85 games total,
Mm-hmm.
and yet he got a massive contract deal like that? I don't get it.
You want to know why?
Because his name is Zion Wilson.
No. The reason why is because the 1 year that he was healthy, he put up monster numbers. And if you see some of the pictures, he looks like he's in much better shape than he was before. And you have a year under and like we both admitted, that New Orleans team is gonna be good next year.
No,
They're
no, I've said that. I told you that they should have inserted him in, but you kept saying no.
no, because you save him for when he gets a full off season, healthy. They're gonna be good next year, and he's gonna be a big reason why.
Hmm.
He's gonna be a big reason why. So I
Well, they,
mean,
they, were, they were already a playoff team anyway.
yeah, but they could be more if he's healthy. If he's healthy, they can be more than that.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Yeah,
was he wasn't healthy.
I agree. I agree with that. But I did hear a rumor that the reason why he did had a massive contract like that
Mm-hmm.
is because I don't now don't quote me on this for sure, but this is just what I've heard
Mm-hmm.
that they told him that he needed to lose the weight first before they decided to give him a huge contract. That's what I heard. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I heard.
I can understand. I can understand that. I think they were gonna give him the money regardless, but he does need to get in better shape just for his health's sake. So, all
Hmm.
right. So New York, they signed Jalen Brunson to a 4 year deal. So this was predictable because he has family members in the Knicks organization, so he was gonna sign anyway.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. And then this one hurts my heart. This one hurts my heart. PJ Tucker
Oh yeah, I heard.
with the 76ers. And look, I at the end of the day, I'm fine with Miami not offering him a 3-year deal. Like he's gonna be 40 by the time this contract is over.
Yeah, but he was still a huge contributor
He
of
was.
Miami's success.
He was.
Pay him.
Eh, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't think I can't pay a role player into his 40s. A 3-year deal. I can't do it. I can't do it. Even though shout out to him though, he was a pivotal part of that team. Let me see. San Antonio didn't report any signings yet, so they're in.
Go up real quick. Real quick. Portland. Wait, is that the same Gary Payton?
Gary Payton the second, yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Whew. Okay. I didn't know anything about that. Okay.
Okay, and that's it for the free agency. That's really it. That's really it for free agency. Now the big trades, however, and I don't think I have the trade stuff here. There were several big trades that happened over the past couple of days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can find a good website for that. Let's see. Okay, I think this is a. Yeah, I think this is a good website for that. Okay, and then obviously the first one that I remember seeing was the Hawks getting the DeJounte Murray,
Yeah.
who was San Antonio's best player last year. He was their best player last year. And you know the Spurs and the Hawks gave up a lot. They gave up Gallinari and they gave up first round picks for the next the not the next 3 years, but they gave them 3 first round picks in a pick swap for 2026. That's a big trade for Atlanta.
That's a big
Yeah, they gave up a lot though. They gave up a lot.
Yeah,
But,
man.
you know, yeah, but DeJounte Murray is a good player, and he's a good second. He's going to be a good player next to Trae Young.
Now, how do you think that's going to take them? How far do you think that's going to take them, though?
Honestly, I still think I think John Collins is a very good player on that team, but I don't know if he's gonna be there long term. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how far, but they are better now um than they were last year with him there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that happened. Um,
Yeah, I can't remember how much he averaged, but I think it was around like 20 points he was averaging.
yeah, he has good overall numbers.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and I know that because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that his average was so good that it was nearly like a triple double average. Like
yeah,
it was.
like he's a complete player. He's a good defender.
Hmm.
Like that's a good trade for Atlanta.
Yeah, but man, for San Antonio to get rid of a guy like that,
Yeah,
like,
they're in tank mode. They're tanking.
yeah, but come on, like you're going to get rid of a guy like him. They did. I don't know if you knew this, but he had over 10 triple doubles. That season.
Yeah, but like I said, they're tanking though.
Bro, that's just unbelievable. Because when you have a guy who's constantly improving, his game. Because I believe the year before, I think he averaged about 15, and then now for this year he's averaging 20.
Mhm.
Yeah, averaging 20. His rebounding obviously increased. His assist has increased. I'm shocked that San Antonio went all out and just got rid of him, like flat out got rid of him. So, but you could be right. I guess they're tanking. But that's something that Greg Popovich. I don't ever remember. I'm surprised that Greg Popovich is okay with that.
I mean, he's also I think he's also the president of the team also. So like, yeah, he's probably he's probably He's probably the one that pulled the trigger on it.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Going back to a comment that Multa made, right? He made one comment. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Okay, this one, I think this is the biggest trade of the off season.
Hmm.
Rudy Gobert going to the Timberwolves.
I was shocked. No, I was actually shocked of who the Timberwolves got rid of. But go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, no, I'm not shocked at all. I'm absolutely not shocked at all. But anyway, let's get to it, right?
Hmm.
So the Timberwolves, they traded for Rudy Gobert, right? And then the Jazz got back Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverly, and Jared Vanderbilt. Like, he's a good player. He's a good player. And then they got 4 first round picks.
Just my gosh, bro.
4 first round picks. Now one of them is protected, but they have 4 first round picks for Rudy Gobert. Now I'm gonna tell you this straight up.
Hmm.
This is actually a very good trade for Minnesota.
You think so?
Mhm.
A good trade for Minnesota?
Yeah, for
Hmm.
Minnesota.
Interesting.
Because you got a all-star center, which he is. And listen, I'm not the biggest Gobert fan. And clearly Malta's not the biggest fan of his either, based on some of the comments that he's made over the years. But at the end of the day, like, he's an all-star center, right? And now you move, you have a big back, you have a big front court with him and Anthony Towns.
Anthony. Yeah.
Yeah, and Anthony Towns. And Anthony Towns don't have to play inside anymore. If he wants to be a 3-point shooter like he wants to be, now you can do that. So you have Rudy in the middle. And the problem that Rudy Gobert always had with Donovan Mitchell, from based on what I can tell from interviews and stuff like that, is that one, he didn't play defense. Like, Donovan Mitchell apparently is not a good defender. And two, he wasn't featured in the offense enough.
Donovan Mitchell?
No, Rudy Gobert.
Oh, okay. Rudy Gobert. Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't featured in the offense enough. Now, with like, again, Minnesota has a young team, but I think they'll do a better job of incorporating him into the offense. Now, make no mistake about it. He's the number 3 option offensively. Maybe even lower than that. When you have Anthony Edwards and you have Karl Anthony Towns, yeah, those are the 2 options. Those are the 2 main options.
Yes.
But when it comes to interior defense, he's gonna help a lot, and he's gonna take a bunch of pressure off of Karl Anthony Towns.
So you
So
like the trade?
yeah, I think it's a good trade for Minnesota.
Um, for me, I think they gave away too many players in my opinion, for the simple fact that Rudy Gobert is not a scorer. He's not. He's not.
Yeah, you're right.
And for me, now I want to stay consistent when I say this because I feel the exact same way about Patrick Beverly. Regardless of how you feel about Patrick Beverly, I think that his defense is elite. I think so. That's why he's been, in the defensive how you call it the
Was he all defensive player this year?
I think I wasn't he? I think he was.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
think
he
he
was,
was.
but I don't remember him being.
Wasn't he there last year or the year before?
I know he's been there before.
I believe he was there at least minimum 3 to 4 years. He has been there. I mean 3 4 times. I believe he's been there. So I mean, regardless of how you feel about Patrick, I think his defense is elite. Now, do I think Gobert's defense is elite? Yes, but for them to get rid of all of these guys for one center who doesn't play an ounce of offense, I think is a mistake. I think is a mistake because where's your scoring going to come from?
I mean, Cole Anthony and Karl Anthony Towns.
I'm talking about additional scoring. It's not coming. It's not coming from him.
I mean, it may not come from him, but I'm sure they have other players on the team. But to me, why I like this trade, to me, is because you take pressure off of Carl Anthony Towns as far as defensively.
Mm-hmm.
You leave him on the outside. You know, he can shoot his threes when he wants, and you let Cole. And I do think that Anthony Edwards, excuse me. You know, I think he can play well with Gobert doing pick and rolls and stuff like that. I think he can do that. So yeah,
Well,
I think if they can get everything set up, I actually think it's a good trade for Minnesota.
okay, okay, all right. I mean that's fine, but I think it's a very what's wrong.
Malta says Gobert is such a bum.
Do you agree with Malta, bro?
No, I don't think I don't think he's a bum. I like there's aspects of his personality that I don't like.
Like what?
Like no, he comes off as a crybaby.
Well, I do
He's
remember
like,
him. I do remember that he cried that he didn't make the All Star team at
yeah,
one point.
so fucking crying over that
Oh, okay,
bullshit.
so let's look at his stats real quick. I need to look at his stats. Look at these stats, right?
Okay.
So it says here,
Oh, you have it right.
yeah. So it says here that let's go at his points. So, now I'm surprised. This is a huge surprise. So 15 points he averaged on 2021, which 2020 14, 2019 15, 2018 15. So when it comes to points, I think this is a mistake. I don't ever remember him averaging this many. I don't
Yeah,
remember him
a
averaging.
lot of it is from offensive rebounds and stuff like that. Because, like I said, one of the problems he had with one of the problems he had with Donovan was that he wouldn't pass him the ball.
That he wouldn't pass Donovan Mitchell the ball.
Yeah,
If
no,
he's if he's
Donovan Mitchell wouldn't pass him the ball.
oh, okay. I mean I think there's some legitimacy to that. I do think there's some legitimacy to that. Donovan Mitchell does seem like a ball. He does ball hog the ball at times.
Yeah,
And but here's what I do like about Rudy. So from since 2017, his average has constantly been increasing. So the 10 to 9, 12.9, 13.5, 13.5, and 14.7 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 blocks, per game. So, but basically throughout his entire career, he's been averaging 2 blocks, which is nice, So, based on these numbers, Malta, I guess I have to disagree with you based on the numbers.
well,
That
in fairness, like I said before, guys who are 7 foot can average those numbers. If they're decent, they can average those numbers.
Mhm.
Right? The difference is that he's a great defender. Now, the reason why I like the trade from Minnesota had really nothing to do with Rudy Gobert. Like Gobert gonna do what he can do, but it's gonna be interesting because it's very interesting to see if his number. Now, again, like I said, they have scorers on that team. They have scorers on that team, so they don't need him to score many points. But his effectiveness, will it be improved by playing with Anthony Edwards as opposed to Donovan Mitchell? How is that going to work?
Mhm.
How's that dynamic going to work? And I think he's there. They traded him to take pressure off of
Anthony.
yeah. All right. So Multi said that you obviously say he's a bum. Can you pull up this man's offensive highlights? They don't exist. Um, this man has a max contract, and all he's useful for is standing underneath the rim and getting dunked on. Dudes
Well,
up in,
it's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that on Malta because you have to remember. You know what's funny? Having and I and myself, we actually debated about this. A huge dispute because Shaq actually went off on Rudy Gobert because of the massive, contract that he had. Basically, essentially saying that he didn't deserve, that type of contract. And frankly, I slightly agree with Shaquille O'Neal. I do. because you can't have a massive contract like that when you only averaging just 15 points and basically not doing anything else. And I think Shaquille O'Neal is basically saying, even though with those numbers that he have, he's still saying that he's dead weight because he should be averaging 20, 30 points per game if you are a 7 foot and you're only averaging 15, something that a guard, a role player could make. I think that's what he's saying. So I could understand where you're coming from, but at the very least he's giving you something. You know what I'm saying? Like at least he's averaging all the rebounds that he's supposed to average. He's playing really good solid defense. Because he averages 2 blocks per game, so he's blocking shots, and him being near the rim all the time does compromise players from getting to the basket. You know what I'm saying? So if you're doing that, you're doing good defensively, and he's a defensive player of the year. I think he's a 2-time defensive player of the year, or is it once?
I think 2 times.
Yeah. So with all that being said, I really can't agree fully that he's a bum. I really can't. I think that's a little too harsh, even for you, Malta. But go ahead, Uvi.
All right. So let me read some more. Almost anyone who's 7-1 can block 2 shots a game. That's true. That's true. That's true. But I think, but Hassan can do that, and Rudy Gobert is a much better defender than Hassan Whiteside. And
Yeah.
when I look at the difference between a center who can block shots and a great defender, that is the difference. Hassan Whiteside, he's a great shot blocker. Rudy Gobert, in my opinion, is a great defender.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't think he's the best defensive center in the league. Personally, I think that's Bam Adebayo. But
Are you being biased?
no. I'm talking about when it comes to no. I am being a little biased.
All right,
The
okay.
best center in the league, in my opinion, is Draymond Green. Defensively,
He's not a center,
I consider him a center.
but he doesn't play center though.
I consider him a center.
This guy's only six. He's only 6'8".
That's fine. I consider him a center.
He's not.
I consider him a center.
Well, but factually, you're wrong.
I mean, Bam Adebayo is not technically a center either, but he plays center for the Miami Heat.
yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean? So okay, so all right, and he said that Mitchell shouldn't pass the ball to Gobert. He can't even post up when. What is he 7'1" 4"? Well, I mean,
That's the thing that Shaquille O'Neal have a problem with. Like he's saying that the guy doesn't develop any footwork. He doesn't go to the post. So what's the problem?
but here's the thing. I remember one game where Rudy Gobert had his guy in jail, and he posted him up. He was in jail, right? All Donovan Mitchell had to do was throw the ball to Gobert, and he would have had 2 points. He never did. Never did. Never threw it to him. And if you're Rudy Gobert, I can understand that being frustrating. I can understand that being frustrating.
Yeah.
All right. So Multi also says Sean Bradley 7'6" shot blocker had a wicked hook shot. Yeah, but we're not going to pretend that Bradley and Gobert are in the same class. Like I think Gobert is a much better player than Sean Bradley. Centers that can't post and score may be useful, but they don't. But do they deserve the max? No way. Shaq.
Yeah, and just so you know, I think Gobert makes more than Draymond Green. Just so you know.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Draymond Green is not a center.
Just because he makes more money than him?
Yeah, he's not a. I don't. No. I'm just adding that I don't necessarily how you think he's a center, because I mean I think what's his name, Lonely, whatever his name is. I think that's a center.
Looney a starter?
Isn't he?
I don't remember. But when it comes to
Or is it Wiseman?
well, I think it would have been Wiseman if he wasn't hurt, but he was hurt. And I remember Looney coming off the bench, but I don't remember. But all I know is that when it comes to their lineup, their depth lineup, like Draymond was the center. In their closing lineups, he was the center. At least throughout their history.
Hmm.
So Shaq is right, dude. Gobert could never average 18 a game, and he also said Ben Wallace is a max player. Now here's the thing: Ben Wallace in today's NBA is not a max player. He's not. He's a great defender. I think he's a better defender than Gobert, but he's not a max player. Doesn't have nowhere near the offensive skills of Gobert, and Gobert's offensive skills are limited. So that should tell you how more limited Ben Wallace's game was.
Hmm.
So he also said Warriors always have centers that play 18 minutes per game. Draymond is a power forward.
Yes, like I said, he's a power forward. He's not a
Well,
center.
well, in the depth lineup, he's their center. When they close lineups, he's their center. I mean, I get what he's saying, but when it comes to the closing lineup, like Draymond is their center. So yeah. So anyways, I don't know. Do you have anything else to say? Because
No, I'm pretty much done.
okay. All right. So here's the thing, right? So right now it's 4 o'clock. Right now, I'm expecting a call from my mom at any moment to pick her up. Um, in the interest of time, the Draymond Green, like speaking of Draymond Green, I forgot the old media versus new media thing. I forgot about it.
Hmm.
So I don't know. We're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna have enough time to talk about this and KD wanting out of Brooklyn. We're not gonna have enough time for that. So we have to. So to me, we might as well talk about the KD thing, and then I mean, what then I guess next week we can talk about Draymond.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Okay. So let me go back up to one of Moto's comments from earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Because the main event is here. Um, we're going to talk about this because this is interesting. Well, when you first heard about KD wanting to get out, what were your thoughts?
First off, I thought it was just rumors. I thought it was all a joke.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't believe it, for a second because you put all your effort into joining, this organization along with Kyrie,
Yeah, there you go.
right?
KD
You
was exposed by Steph Curry, and now he wants to trade.
Thank you, Malta.
You agree
Thank
with
you,
that?
yes.
All right, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, of course, I agree. He was absolutely exposed. It continued to show. This is what I had told you even from the very beginning when he first went to Golden State. I've been trying to tell you this over and over and over again. Steph Curry is the best player overall, in my opinion. When I mean overall, I mean like he's better,
Hold on. Let me put myself on mute. All right, hold on.
no, okay. Yeah, to me, I think Steph Curry is far better, than Kevin Durant. And he proved once again that he could win, without Kevin Durant. I think that it's been very disrespectful. Like these guys and these idiots in in the sports media, I shouldn't call them idiots, but like I think a
Okay,
lot of
okay. You hear me? Okay, listen. I'm gonna go get my mom. Um, just hold the fort down for like 5-10 minutes. All right.
it's gonna be more than 10 minutes, I'm sure.
No. Hopefully it won't be. All right, just hold the fort down. Go ahead. Go get on with your KD slander, and we'll jump back to it.
Well, the thing is, I won't have any control on the. Oh yeah, go ahead, fine, go ahead.
No. Don't worry. I'll keep it on. Hopefully it won't
Why,
die.
why, why why don't you just stay in tune with us on your phone?
No, it's gonna take too long, and I'm gonna have to get off. I'm gonna have to get out in the process. I'm gonna have to get off of this thing in the process. So I'd rather just keep it here, let you talk. It'll still be on. Don't worry, it won't turn off or nothing like that.
All right. Well, I guess try to hurry back. I guess.
All right.
All right. So since he is out and it's just me and you, Malta, I don't know where everyone else is. Oh, Ruben is here. Cool, good stuff. Well, here's the thing, right? I honestly believe out of all this time, when Curry and Durant went to play, when Durant went to play with Steph Curry, I have already knew what was going to happen because you have to remember when Curry won his first championship and then they only lost 9 games, many people was already saying that he was the best player in the league. Some would say it was LeBron, but we had a lot of people that said it was Steph Curry. That completely changed once Kevin Durant went to Golden State. You see, let me tell you what the hypocrisy is when it comes to that, or the contradiction, I should probably say. How is it that once Kevin Durant went to Golden State, suddenly he's the best player on that team? But just the year prior, people were saying that Steph Curry was the best player in the league. It made no sense to me. In order for you to be the best player in the league, that means you were better than Kevin Durant. In order for you to be the best player in the league, that means you were better than LeBron James. I'm just talking about the consensus. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about overall. Many were saying that Steph Curry was the best player in the league. Suddenly, it's Kevin Durant as soon as he went to Golden State. Like, what changed? Like, what changed? I believe that a lot of these sports analysts are not authentic, and I think most of them were just being biased, in my personal opinion. Like they were taking Kevin Durant's height and his wingspan, and boom, he's the best player in the league. You know what I'm saying? But overall, Steph Curry showed that with the skill set that he has, he was the far superior player. And yet he proved once again that he could have already won, without Kevin Durant. And I honestly believe that if Kevin Durant never went to Golden State, I believe that Steph Curry would have had, one more ring at the very least. I think they would have probably split with the Cavs, 1-1. I think they would have split. I don't think they would have won all the rings because I think they would have lost against not Golden State. I think they would have lost against Houston that one year, with Houston, but I think they would have won the following year. So they would have had won another ring without Kevin Durant, to begin with. But the problem, that I have with what Kevin Durant is saying, or what Kevin Durant is requesting a trade, is you were trying to prove that you could win without Steph Curry. You went to a team, which is, the Nets, along with Kyrie, to showcase that you could win without Steph Curry, to showcase that you could be, the man winning a ring without going to a super team. And now, because of all the drama that you caused, that Kyrie caused, that James Harden caused, now you want to leave. Instead of actually being the leader that everybody expected you to be, and to portray to the outside and all the people who are watching out in the world that you could actually win, be a good leader, and get a championship for the organization. And yet now you want to run away once again. So let me get this straight. You decided to leave Russell Westbrook. You decided to run away instead of trying to win. You decided to leave, Golden State because you knew you wasn't going to get the credit. And now you decided to leave the Nets because of all the drama. Like, so the guy is just constantly running, without trying to face the music. Like, I mean, you caused this. Like, you wanted Steve Nash as your coach. You wanted Kyrie, to join you. You were okay with James Harden, coming to your team. And then now that James Harden decided to leave, the drama that you was causing, the drama that Kyrie was causing, now suddenly you want to leave, the Nets. Like, come on, bro. I honestly cannot respect a guy like Kevin Durant anymore. Like, I really can't. I think he's a phenomenal player, and I think he's very, very talented. But in my personal opinion, even with the skill set that he has and how he has such great shooting percentage, I still don't think that it can contribute to wins. And it hasn't unless he had gone to a super team. He would have no rings if he stayed in OKC. He would have had no rings if he went to maybe if he went to a different team. I don't think he would have won anything. Because I think the two best teams at that time was Golden State and the Cleveland Cavaliers. But let's look at this article, real quick, because I mean, him running away like this, it just makes him look like like a loser, a simp. I don't want to be mean, but this is this is what you're putting on display. Let me see. So KD request a trade. Let me see what this says. Okay, so News 9. So I don't think I'll be able to share it because Havino has to activate it for me. Let me see. Yeah, I won't be able to share it. So let me read it, real quick. So it says that the Brooklyn Nets offseason saga continues as we enter a new week after Kevin Durant formally made a trade request from the Nets last week. That news from Durant followed a news that has fellow Nets star Kyrie Irving would opt in to his player option to remain, with Brooklyn. Something that was unexpected, making the Durant news even more unexpected. And that was very unexpected for me too. I don't get it. If the two of you main ultimate goal was to play with each other, Kyrie decided to opt in and remain a Brooklyn Net. And your response is, I want to leave. How does that make any sense? To me, what that tells me, unless I'm interpreting this thing wrong, what that tells me is that you don't want to play with Kyrie anymore. Kyrie basically opted in and he's committing to staying with Brooklyn. Why suddenly do you want to leave? Do you acknowledge that you can play and win a championship with Kyrie? Is that what it is? The same way how you did to the same thing you did to Russell Westbrook? Now you want to leave Kyrie Irving also because what, you can't win the championship? But I mean that you chose to play with Kyrie in the first place. How is it that someone like you, who many people say that you are the best player in the league, which I disagree because I think the best player in the league is Steph Curry or Giannis. I think those two guys are the top guys in the NBA currently. But even still, people expected you to win a championship and expected you to be a leader, but yet you decided to request a trade. So now look what it says here. Now there's plenty of chatter that both stars could be moved by the Nets after all. The big one is Kevin Durant and where he could possibly land, because about half the teams in the NBA have reportedly called the Nets, who have said they're looking for the best trade package possible. So what that hold on. So what does that look like for Brooklyn? The Nets podcast spoke with Jackson Glayton on Monday Lock on NBA podcast about Brooklyn will be that's what they'll be looking for. Let me see. So let me see here. I don't think there's anything else. The potential package with the Suns include 2018 number one overall pick, Ayton, who ended his season on a bad note with the Suns, and coach Monty Williams. It also would likely include Suns star defender Michael Bridges, along with some draft picks. Packages discussed with the Raptors potentially include starters, Scotty Barnes, or possibly All-Star Pascal Siakam. Okay, so yeah, so pretty much a lot of teams are very interested in Kevin Durant, which I don't blame them. I don't blame that teams, want to get their hands on Kevin Durant. The problem is one of the reasons why I think, regardless of where he goes, unless he's going to stay, I don't think they're really going to go anywhere. For one, Kevin Durant is too skinny. That dude seriously needs to go to the weight room. We've seen Kobe Bryant, who was a skinny guy, went to the weight room. Michael Jordan went to the weight room. Giannis went to the weight room. Steph Curry went to the weight room. You had all these guys knew that during playoff time, the defense was going to be extra physical. So what they did, they went to the weight room, gained some muscle, so that they could handle all the extra physicality. You saw and against Boston that Kevin Durant couldn't handle that. He couldn't. And now that he's getting older and he's going to continue getting older, I think that's going to eventually wear on his body because the guy is just too skinny. He's a liability, and I think his defense is overrated. And I think that during the regular season, he'll do fine. But I think when it comes to playoff season, when it comes to the playoffs, I don't think he's going to be contributing in anything. When like down the stretch, when teams are playing real physical defense against you, I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. And when you look at it, and that whole entire series against Boston, I mean, yeah, he scored, but like during in the fourth quarter, the guy couldn't perform. The guy couldn't perform. Like how is it that I could take somebody like that and say he's better than Steph Curry? Like I can't do it. I can't do it. Let me look at some of these comments. It's Curry's team. Durant was just to help. Now I agree with you, Nolan. I think Steph Curry was the main guy, and Kevin Durant just simply went on a team where they was going to win championships anyway. That's the thing. They were automatically going to win championships anyway. He just went up there to where now there's absolutely no competition anymore. That's what he did. He had shifted the balance of power to where there's absolutely no way anybody would be able to compete. Because you have to remember, Golden State was already dominating the league anyway. They were already dominating the league. They were better than everybody else. So you add an all-star in there, you add a superstar, I should say, in there. Like what do you expect? They're going to demolish everybody. You dominated the whole league from the very start, and now you add a top 5 player onto your team. Of course, they're going to win more championships. Like people who are biased allow their fan, their being a fanatic with Kevin Durant compromises their judgment. That's what basically happened. They allow their fan to of Kevin Durant compromise their own judgment. At no point in time was Golden State, Durant's team. I 100% agree with that. Only team you can really say was Durant was OKC and the Nets. Yes, absolutely, 100%. He's better. He better head to South Beach. The problem with South Beach is that they're basically going to have to get rid of nearly their entire team to get Kevin Durant, because when you look at Kevin Durant, if you traded him with Adebayo, that's not an equal trade. And I guarantee you, if the Heat offers Adebayo and Jimmy Butler, do you honestly think that adding Kevin Durant and trading those two guys will Miami be a championship team? That's the question I have, for any of you guys. Would they be a championship team if they trade both Jimmy Butler and Adebayo for Kevin Durant? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think so. And I'm not, and it's not because Kevin Durant is a bad player, but I honestly believe that you need multiple great players surrounding Durant in order for him to win a championship. I mean, no disrespect, but it's been proven that he need a a super team in order for him to compete. Because when you look at OKC, that team was phenomenal when he was there. I mean, you had Kevin Durant, you had Russell Westbrook, you had James Harden, you had freaking Ibaka, like you had all these great guys, and yet they still couldn't win a championship anyway. Let me see what he says. We've only seen KD win a championship on a team that went 73-9 the season prior and already had a chip. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much what I was saying. You know what? There's something I wanted to share and read real quick. Let me see. Um, let's see. I think Kevin Durant. I really want to know what Kyrie has to say. I wonder if Kyrie has says anything yet. Let me see something here. Kyrie. Uh, all right. So here's what it says. So why did Kevin Durant request a trade, from the Nets? And it says lack of playoff success, relationship with Kyrie Irving leading to studying, departure. On what is already the most chaotic day on the NBA calendar, Kevin Durant just upped the ante and sent the entire league into question. Many of the questions surrounding the Nets during the 2022 NBA offseason were about the status of Kyrie Irving. Would he stay with the Nets, or would he opt out of his deal and sign elsewhere? A trade will bring Durant 3 year tenure with the Nets to a disappointing conclusion. Brooklyn won just one playoff series during his time with the team. Granted, he didn't play during the first season of his contract as he recovered from a torn Achilles. That is the other thing I wanted to mention, right? You had a team, you had an organization that decided to bring you in and allowed you to take a whole season off, a whole entire season off. So you could be 100%, so you could fully recover, and that way we could compete next year. That's what that team did for you. The team allowed you to pick the coach that you wanted, Steve Nash. The team allowed you to choose the player that you wanted, Kyrie Irving. This is the reason why that I was never in favor of player empowerment. This was the reason why I was always in favor. Let the leaders, let the managers, let the team leaders do their job. Don't give the power to the employees, because this is exactly what you would get. You get guys who will be disobedient. You have guys that will betray you. This is the type of stuff that I just don't like seeing in the public spectrum. You know what I mean? So you were injured for a whole entire season, yet they still gave you a nice, decent contract, allowed you to sit out for the whole entire season, and this is what you give them in return. You want to make a trade request, and I honestly believe that the organization is just tired of the drama. They were tired of Kyrie not wanting to get the vaccine, which I don't blame him for, because I wouldn't take the vaccine either. They were tired of the whole fiasco with James Harden. I think they're sick and tired of what happened with Ben Simmons, because once Ben Simmons came in, he still didn't play, and he talked about that he was having a back injury, which nobody knew about. And now Kevin Durant wants to have a trade request. Is asking for a trade request. Like, this is just too much. All of this stuff happened in the course of what, a year, with the exception of the Achilles injury. Everything happened in the course of a year. It's just too much drama from all of your elite players. It's constant, frustration, from the fan base and the organization. It's just too much, and I honestly believe that is the main reason why the Nets organization will say, you know what, we've been having a headache. It's just not worth it anymore. So we're going to trade you and see what is the best offer that we could get, because I think they just don't want to take the drama anymore. Like, I think they can't handle it. It's just too much. It's too much. Why Durant looking to leave the Nets? Here's what we know about his decision. Durant tenure with the Nets didn't quite go as he planned. The hope was that he and Kyrie Irving would establish themselves as a dynamic 1-2 punch for Brooklyn. Instead, they rarely played together at all, and by the end, it appears that their relationship may have been fried. Um, Let me see. Reports that Irving opted into his deal with the Nets. Durant had no contact with him. That made a trade inevitable. Adrian Wawinski, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving had no contact, with the franchise after Irving opted into his deal on Monday. And a sense of inevitability existed that Durant would eventually ask for a trade. Sources tell ESPN it happened that day. It happened today. Incredibly, Durant and Irving ended up playing just 58 of 247 total games together during their Nets careers postseason included. A combination of injuries for the two and Irving's refusal to take the COVID-19 vaccine limited how frequently they were on the floor together. As such, Brooklyn's two stars never really got to carry the team to prolonged stretches. Now, and in my honest opinion, I don't necessarily think they would have gotten far even if Kyrie took the vaccine in the first place. Because remember, they or maybe I might be wrong because maybe they would have probably gotten to a much higher seed. Maybe Harden would have remained on the team. So who knows? But Kyrie Irving played 100% of the games in the playoffs. He did. So I honestly don't believe if this is what Kevin Durant is saying verbatim. I don't necessarily think it's a good excuse because the two of you ended up playing together anyway. Blame Ben Simmons for not wanting to join the team, even though he was healthy. They say that he wasn't healthy, but I'm not buying it. I don't buy it. The lack of playing together with Irving and Harden made it hard for Durant to win in Brooklyn. He won just one series in 3 years and posted an overall record of 7-9 in the 16 postseason games he played. And in the fourth, he didn't play while recovering from the torn Achilles. The Nets were 0-4. Yeah, so pretty much, it looks like Kevin Durant simply had enough with Kevin Durant basically had enough with Kyrie and the organization,
Hmm.
which I think it's stupid on his part because once again, he decided to go there in the first place along with Kyrie.
Can you hear
You
me?
just Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Let's see here.
Yeah, so you're actually back. It took more than 10 minutes, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
So I was basically reading the article of why Kevin Durant wanted to leave, and
What was
pretty
the
much.
answer?
Let me share it. Let me share it.
Hmm. Let me read some of these comments from let me
Yeah,
see.
go ahead.
Okay. So Malta said this guy always takes the easy way out. Okay, let me share your thing right here.
Hmm.
Seth Curry led a team to 73-9. KD joined a team that was already 73-9. Okay.
Yeah,
But here's the problem. That team that Steph Curry led that team to that record for didn't win the championship.
it still won the year before.
That's cute. That's cute. They didn't win the championship that year.
So
He joins, they win back-to-back championships.
what you're basically saying is that Kevin Durant was the only player that could have led him to another championship. That's what you're saying.
No, no.
Thank
They
you.
got the best guy. They got the best guy. And Draymond Green said it in the podcast. Said in the podcast. The thing that they were missing is what Kevin Durant brought to the table. At the end of the day, when the 3-point shot's not going in, when everyone's struggling to get a bucket, you need a guy who can get a bucket
Let me
anywhere.
ask. Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Remove Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
Put in Kawhi. Do they win a championship?
Yeah,
Do they win a championship if they got Giannis?
yeah,
Do they win a championship if they have Paul George?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did he win? Did he? Now this is an obvious one, but yeah, but just to make a point, do they win if they had LeBron James?
Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much, regardless of what All Star or Superstar they have gotten, they would have won a championship anyway. That's my point. They would have won a championship anyway. They
Okay.
were they were already good enough without an additional superstar, but getting a superstar made it a guarantee that they would win a championship.
That's what
That's the
franchises.
point.
That's what franchises do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, that's what they do. They
No,
try to
they don't.
guarantee they try to guarantee a championship by getting the best players.
No, they don't have a team winning championships or good enough to win a championship and then add an elite player where no one could compete. That never happened before.
No, it doesn't matter what didn't happen before. That's what they did. That was the goal. That was Golden State's goal.
And look, Draymond Green can say what he wants, but frankly, when he had the argument with Kevin Durant, he said that he doesn't need you. They said they won championships without you. That's a fact, and he knew what he was telling the truth. He was speaking from the heart. He could say whatever he wants in the podcast, but in reality, in the court, we knew what you said. We knew exactly what he said, and he said
Yeah.
that we could win championships without you. That we don't need you. That's what he said. And
In the
frankly,
time,
that
in the
that
time that he
and
was that
frankly,
in the time
and
then
frankly,
that
that year,
year. Mhm.
remember that year, remember the year when they lost because of injuries and things like that. You have to remember they went to the championship without Kevin Durant because he was injured.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
beat Houston without Kevin Durant. They beat Portland without Kevin Durant. So once again, they were already proving that they were one of the best team without Kevin Durant anyway.
Mhm.
Because they did it. Because remember,
Did they
he
win?
was also
But did they win without Kevin Durant that year?
because remember he was also hurt during the season, and they were
Mhm.
still
But did
winning
they
anyway.
win? Did they win without Kevin Durant that year?
Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson.
Okay, Klay Thompson got hurt the last game of the series.
Don't forget that.
That's fine, but they didn't win. They didn't win when he wasn't there.
And Klay Thompson. Don't
They didn't win. They
make sure
didn't
you give
win.
one. Make sure you give
They didn't win when he wasn't there.
and
Ultimately,
Klay Thompson
the guy who was the big difference maker, the
and Klay
guy
Thompson.
who you bemoaned, saying, "Oh, how he go to this team? They're such a dominant team." The moment he got hurt in the championship game, they didn't win. So let me read this from Nolan. It's Curry's team. Durant was just to help.
Thank you.
At no point in time was Golden State Durant's team. Yeah, that's true. All that stuff is true. Only team you can really say was Durant was OKC and the Nets. And Ruben said that he better head to South Beach. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for. Multa said in a perfect world.
Yeah, but if he listen, like I said, while you were gone, the only way that's going to work, they have to get rid of both Jimmy Butler and Adebayo. Miami's not doing that.
No, they're no, because no, that's not that. No, that's not.
That's the only way that trade would work.
Right. Anyway, okay, so Multa said in a perfect world, Thunder would have won those rings for Westbrook's loyalty. Ruben said Durant is not mentally disciplined.
100% agreed.
And he also said you got to keep Butler. I don't know. What did you say about Jimmy Butler? Oh, you said that they had to trade him?
Yeah, I said they would have to trade because if Miami offered Butler for Kevin Durant, I know you'd be okay with that. But Brooklyn will say that's not enough.
No, but they can't trade for Bam Adebayo anyway.
Oh, that's right. He's a rookie still, isn't he? Isn't his rookie contract deal?
Something like that. And they already have Ben Simmons under that same type of contract. So you can't trade for two guys with the same type of contract.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me see. And Multa said we've only seen KD win a championship on a team that was 73-9 that season prior and already had a chip.
Thank you. And let me and guys, let me address this real quick. Here's the thing about what you need to learn when it comes to who won 86, right? He is fully aware that Golden State team was a dominating Golden State team. He is fully aware that even without Kevin Durant, that team would have won championships anyway. But because he decided to go to Golden State, he wants to ignore the fact that team was dominating the league in the first place. He wants to ignore that and only focus on the part that, oh well, Kevin Durant, won them championships. He was the final MVP, but yet he completely ignores that him going to Golden State made it to where nobody else could compete. He ignores that part.
Which is what
He
Golden State Warriors wanted to
ignores
do.
that part. He ignores that part.
So you're mad at KD for choosing them. Why aren't you mad at Golden State Warriors for pursuing him?
They didn't pursue him.
Yeah, they did.
No.
Yes. Draymond Green even said himself he recruited KD to the Warriors.
Draymond Green did, not nobody else. Draymond Green did.
Steve? Are you serious?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You
Yes.
think one player has?
Yes.
So you think that the Warriors didn't want KD?
I
You
think
truly believe that?
I honestly believe that if it wasn't for Draymond Green, I don't think he would have gone to Golden State.
They all pitched to him coming to Golden State. Your entire organization did.
I don't buy that.
What? All
I don't
right.
buy that. Without Draymond Green, you think Kevin Durant would have gone there anyway?
Yeah, because the whole team went after him. They had the cap space. You don't create that type of cap space and then just let him walk. No, you try to convince him. Miami did that, and they had no cap space.
Maybe that with who?
The Kevin Durant. They talked to Kevin Durant, and they had no cap space. They went after him.
Well, they're still going after him currently.
Yeah, and you want to know why? Because he's that fucking good. Period. No matter what you say about him, this dude can ball. Period.
Nobody said that he couldn't ball. All we said was that he would have 0 rings if he never went to a dominant team.
All right.
That's what we're saying, and that's a fact.
Okay. Regardless, Ruben said y'all heard about the backlash that Nelson Paquette faced when he said after what he said about Lewis Hamilton. I don't follow F1 that closely. I don't know about you, Steve, but I don't follow F1 that closely. I do watch it more often than nowadays.
No, I don't really watch it. I mean, to me, F1 is no different than NASCAR, in my opinion.
Even though it's gaining popularity real quick. It's gaining
Well,
popularity.
it's been existed for forever, though.
Yeah, but for whatever reason, the popularity is gotten, popularity gotten.
Now, I'll agree. I think it is, more exciting, than NASCAR. But when it comes to racing, the only one that I like to watch is the MX. Is that what's it called? MX? The dirt bikes. Those are the type of racing that I like. But as far as anything else, no, not really.
All right. So, and Malta said that Warriors just won a championship without him, for Christ's sake. Yeah, and that's a testament to the Warriors. Being a great organization,
which proves that they could have won without Kevin Durant, regardless.
Hey, but guess what? They went all in to get him. They went all in to get him. So that shows you that they valued him as a great player.
No, okay.
We're
not saying that he's not great.
Wait.
We're not saying he's not great.
Not only it validates him as a great player, it also validates the organization because they'll do whatever it takes to win. They have a championship. They have a championship DNA that they didn't have in Brooklyn. They don't have in Brooklyn. Now, since you were talking all this time, and thank you for holding it down. Let me give you my thoughts on this situation. Okay, I was stunned when he asked for a trade. Now, the domino effect of all this was Kyrie signing opting in to his contract because he wanted a new max deal. Brooklyn was like, no, we don't trust you, so you're not getting a new max deal. So you're opting in, and pretty much he was gonna play out the remainder of his contract, which was one more year. Couple days later, KD said, "F it, I'm getting a trade. I'm asking for a trade."
Mm-hmm.
So I originally thought that he asked for a trade because they weren't willing to commit to Kyrie. That's why I originally thought. But now everybody is saying, and I'm assuming you're assuming this now, because I think I heard when I came in, I just heard this part from you that you believe in a bunch of other people believe that Kevin Durant has had enough of Kyrie.
Yes.
In that he's like, F it, I'm done. I'm moving on.
it's because it seems to me that Kevin Durant probably would have stayed if if Kyrie Irving left, if he opted out. That's what I think would have happened.
I don't know. I don't know. Because to me, I'm confused by it. Because he really hasn't said anything. He wrote one cryptic tweet or whatever. He really hasn't said anything about it. To me, here's what I think. I think that he's upset that the Brooklyn Nets is not. They don't have a they don't have a foundation of what they want to be. Right? They weren't they don't have no real commitment to from Brooklyn, and I guess he didn't get any real commitment from Brooklyn, and he didn't get no commitment from Kyrie. So he's like, so I'm assuming he's like, you know what, F this, I'm out, I'm done. Now, all this is all on KD. This is all on him. He hitched his wagon to Kyrie. That's on you because you're friends with him. Because you're homies. So you hitched your wagon onto him. You decided to go to the Brooklyn Nets together. You guys decided to get the coach fired. Kenny Atkinson, you got him fired. You brought in a coach that had no experience, who Kyrie clearly doesn't respect. Right? You had a guy who had a capability of being an all-star center in Jared Allen. But who do you want playing with him? Playing with you guys? DeAndre Jordan. Washed up bum DeAndre Jordan. Instead of having a talented young all-star in Jared Allen.
Wait, they wanted to get rid of him?
They wanted to play with DeAndre Jordan. They wanted to play with DeAndre Jordan. So as far as I'm concerned, this is on KD. All on KD. With that said, you can come to Miami. Yeah, if you want to come to Miami, you can come to Miami. And you thought that I was a KD defender now? Oh, if you come to Miami, oh my goodness. Dude, I'm gonna have a shield in front of that dude. If you come to Miami. And you wanna know why? Because everywhere
because the guy's sensitive, that's why.
Yeah. And he can be sensitive here all he wants. As long as he drops 30, that's all I care about. Everywhere he's been a great player. Everywhere he's been, he's helped his team win.
Wait, what? Wait. Say that spot again.
Everywhere he's been, he's helped his team win.
Who were the teams?
Oh, okay.
So OKC won the championship there.
Look, the only reason why people know about OKC because of him. Because of him. He's the greatest player in that franchise's history. And that goes all the way back to Seattle.
Did they win?
No, they didn't win.
Okay, so correct yourself, please.
No, that's fine. He was the best player on those Warriors teams. That's why they got him, because he was the best player on that team. And if it wasn't for that loser franchise, they would have. And his fault by hitching his wagon to loser bums like James Harden and Kyrie Irving. Right? That's what he got in Brooklyn. But even still, he almost beat the defending champion by himself. Hold on a second. He said that Miami flopped their way to that championship. How do you flop your way into a 4-1 series win, Malta? How do you flop into a 4-1 series win?
Well, which championship are you talking about?
I'm talking about the first one for LeBron, the one against OKC.
He's saying that they flopped their way in against OKC.
Yeah, how do you flop your way into winning? How do you flop your way into winning a series 4-1?
Oh, okay. Here we go.
No, I'm trying to figure out how do you flop your way into a 4-1 series.
He said it. He said OKC would have won if the refs didn't officiate the way that they did.
Which game? 2, 3, 4, 5? Which game?
That's why in the offseason, the no flopping rule was implemented, and Miami Heat out of a sudden they stopped drawing so many charges.
And they still won the championship that year too. And they still won a championship that year. So what are we talking about, Malta?
Malta, you got him all fired up.
What are we talking about? This is so swept under the rug. You know what was swept? You know what was swept under the rug? OKC. They got swept under the rug. Where's the flopping that I'm trying to figure out? Where's the flopping at? That's not true either. Like now you're just trolling at this point.
What's going on? What he said?
He said nowadays Miami Heat fans consider making the Eastern Conference Championship a Eastern Conference Finals a championship. That's not true at all. It's always championship or bust for this franchise. Always. It's championship or bust for this franchise. And clearly he's trolling.
Yeah, he got you all wrapped up. But no, clearly Miami was the far better team, in my opinion. But I honestly believe that regardless how great, having no think, Kevin Durant is, well, all-time great, it's been shown, throughout the career that, you just had guys or had teams that was just far better. Tim Duncan was better. That's why Tim Duncan, won a championship because he was better.
That's fine.
Steph Curry showed that he was better. That's why he won.
That's fine. But here's the thing. Do you think that he wants to leave because is Kyrie the reason why you think he wants to leave?
Yes, I think it's because of Kyrie, and additionally, I think when you were gone, I said it was just constant drama. You had the drama, with Kyrie not wanting to take the vaccine, which I'm still on his side, by the way. You had the issue, with James Harden wanting to leave.
But I guarantee you, if he had taken the vaccine, none of this is happening right now.
No, I don't think so.
No. I think the vaccine is the entire reason why this is all happening.
No.
I'm gonna tell you why. If he had taken the vaccine, Harden would still be there. And I guarantee you they would have a better record if he had taken the vaccine. This is not an issue right now. They could very well have won the championship if he had taken the vaccine.
Probably, yeah.
So Kyrie nuked the whole thing. Whether or not KD will ever admit it or not, Kyrie Irving directly or indirectly nuked the whole thing. He nuked the whole thing because he didn't want to get a vaccine.
But I think what really happened was that once KD got hurt, that's when Harden wanted to leave. Everything was perfectly fine. Well, I shouldn't say perfectly fine, but Harden was never complaining about Kyrie not taking the vaccine until KD got hurt.
Not in public. Probably did it privately. Probably did.
They were still winning. But they were still winning.
You can still hear it in the contact clues when he went to Philadelphia. The first thing he said, "Oh, I'm glad I'm in a place where everybody shows that they want to win." It's clearly a shot at Kyrie. Clearly, like him not getting the vaccine nuked the whole situation for them.
So pretty much, all this talk about them, it's your personal decision. It's your personal decision. Do what you want. But at the end of the day, though, that wasn't true. All that was a lie. It was not about do what you want. All that was a lie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All this talk about we support Kyrie Irving. It's I'm not gonna say what somebody should do. When it comes to your body, which is something that you will always advocate for. That people should not be forced to do, what they want. Mind your own business. That's what you always say.
Mm-hmm.
Even when it comes to the whole transgender stuff, mind your own business. Well, okay, well then, mind your own business. It's his body. He should be able to decide what he wants to put in or what he wants to put out.
Yeah, that's fine. But it cost his team. It cost his team the championship. An opportunity to win a championship. That's what it did. and he wasn't willing to do what everyone else on the team did. We've been through this. I don't want to go over this again.
Mm-hmm.
But him not getting the vaccine nuked this whole thing. Whether he wants to admit it or not, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. That's why he wants to be traded. Now, even with all that said, Brooklyn don't have to trade him. He signed, I don't know how many years he had left on the deal. I think he had like four years left on his deal. They don't have to trade him. They don't have to. So he can, cause a stink or whatever. At the end of the day, they don't have to trade him.
But I'm worried that he's going to take the James Harden route and just not show up, or he's just going to, I don't know, just not come to practice or something.
Here's the thing. I don't like. I could be completely wrong on this, right? I could be completely wrong on this, but I don't look at Kevin Durant as that type of person. I don't look at him that way. And who are the guy that you said that he might take the what approach?
James Harden approach.
Yeah, I don't look at him and James Harden in the same
Or he could take the
Ben Simmons
Blake Griffin route.
Oh yeah. I don't think he don't come off as that type of person to me. Kevin Durant comes off to me as someone who loves basketball, who all he wants to do is just play basketball. Doesn't want to deal with the drama. Doesn't want to deal with anything. He just wants to play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
He comes off that way to me, right? So I don't know if he will pull. Now again, I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong, but he don't come off to me like he would do that sort of thing. He don't come off that way to me. Kyrie does, but Kevin Durant doesn't.
That's look. I think what happened. I think the organization is going to trade him, and what I said was, with the whole situation with because I read when I was reading the article. Let me see if I still have it.
Well, while you look, Mota said, I don't know what happened, but I think Harden was tired as hell of Kyrie not taking the vaccine. And he also said that Kyrie lost his passion for basketball. I think both of those things can be true. Yeah, I think he did. And that's fine. It's not, I don't need my basketball player to love playing basketball. You don't need to love the sport.
Are you serious?
No, I don't think you need to love the sport to be good at it.
I mean, people are paying you, to perform. You better love the sport. They're paying you. We're paying you.
Be great without loving the sport. You can be great without loving the sport.
I'm
good at my job, and I hate my job. You know what I mean? I'm sure you're good at your job, and I know you don't. I don't think you hate your job, but I'm sure you would prefer to do something else for more money. Basketball players are the same way. Basketball players are the same way. I mean, athletes are the same way. Some guys love it to death, and some guys just don't love it like that. As long as they're good, that's all that matters.
Well, what I was I forget the article. What I was trying to say was that when it comes to Kevin Durant, right?
Mm-hmm.
The organization is going to trade him. And the reason why I believe that they're going to trade him and not keep him, like you said, is because when I was reading the article, I completely forgot that, the first year he was hurt. So they invested, money in you and told you to take a year off. You took a year off. Then you had the situation, with Kyrie Irving not wanting to take the vaccine. Then you had the situation of James Harden wanting to leave. You had a situation of Kevin Durant, got hurt again. And then you have the whole Ben Simmons situation. Like, to me, how is it in the course of 2 years, you have all this drama and with your best players? I honestly believe that the New Jersey, that the Brooklyn Nets no longer wants to deal with the drama anymore. And I think to them, this is just hypothetically speaking, but I think to them is like good riddance. Like we just don't want to take this stuff anymore. We don't want to handle this drama anymore. So I think they're going to get rid of him.
Well, I mean, he asked for a trade, so like I think if he wanted to stay, they'll keep him. But he asked for a trade because I just think that he just doesn't like being part of that organization, which is drama filled.
Well, I mean, and again, let me add to this.
Hmm.
This is what happens when you allow your players to take control and not have the management team take control. This is exactly what you get.
This is the bad part of it, yeah. And it's bad because they didn't win. You can deal with all this if you win, but if you don't win, then it's just a waste of time. But even then, I guarantee you that if Kyrie take the vaccine, this is not happening. All this is not happening. Even if they don't win the championship, right? Let's say Kyrie takes the vaccine, he proved to be great. They're signing him to a max deal. Period.
Hmm.
Like they're gonna sign him to a max deal. KD gonna be like, okay, I'm in for the long haul. We're good. He'll never. I don't think he'll ever admit it publicly, right? But I do think that Kyrie Irving not getting the vaccine was the straw that broke the camel's back. I think it was the straw that broke the camel's back for KD. But again, this is partly his fault. This is partly his fault because you enabled all of this. But like I said, you come to Miami, hey bro, you're good in my eyes.
He goes to Miami. You guys are not going to have Butler. Just so you know.
Here's the thing. When it comes to this is why this trade is going to be interesting. First things first, he wants to go to a contender. He wants to go to a contender. And do I think that if I had to pick between him and Jimmy,
Don't sit here and act like it'll be a dilemma for you. We know exactly who you would pick.
uh, I, I, I,
No,
I
no,
would,
no.
I would prefer it if they kept Jimmy, Bam, and got KD. Now, if they trade Jimmy to get KD and they keep Tyler Hero, then I'm fine with that. As long as you have as long as you had three great players on your team, I can live with it. I can live with it. Now, when you look at Phoenix, right? Because Phoenix is the favorite. All joking aside, Phoenix is the favorite.
Hmm.
Now, Brooklyn. Hold on a second. Give me one.
Um,
Like, okay, I'm back. I'm back. Okay, yeah, Phoenix is the favorite, right? Now, Brooklyn, they're saying that they want. A report said that they wanted two All Stars minimum for KD. They're not going to get that. They're not going to get that. If he's serious about the trade, he's not. You're not going to get two All Stars. This idea that they were going to get Devin Booker in the trade for KD, that's a pipe dream. They're not. That's not going to happen. Devin Booker just signed his super max extension,
yeah.
so they're not getting him. KD said that he wants to go to a contender. So pretty much what he wants is for the team to trade whoever to get him without losing, the best players. In Miami, that's Jimmy and Bam. And Phoenix, that's Paul and Booker. Now, apparently there's some other teams on his list. I don't know. I keep hearing people talk about the Lakers. I If you're Brooklyn, why would you trade for Russell Westbrook? Why?
Well, to me, it looked like what I heard earlier last week was that they wanted to do like some type of reunion with KD and Russell and Kyrie and LeBron, and have a reunion, and basically go back and try to win, because they believe that Ben Simmons will officially play next season. So with Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and Ben Simmons, they say, well, that's an automatic championship team.
It's not. It's absolutely not. You have two guys on the court that can't shoot.
Yes, exactly. And I would have been okay with it if Russell Westbrook was able to play, somewhat type of defense, but because he can't play, I think his defense is just slightly below average, or maybe just average. I can't really say that that's a championship team. I mean, on paper it looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and Ben Simmons, like that. That sounds awesome on paper. You have these three, stars who are very, very talented, but the guys that can't shoot. I mean, I don't see how that's going to work.
It don't make no sense. And then Kyrie, look how bad it will look for Kyrie if he goes running back to LeBron, where he the only place where he did any type of sustainable winning.
Yeah,
And the Lakers who nuked their roster to get Anthony Davis, like what who do they have to trade? Who do they have to trade realistically?
they don't have anybody. They have a bunch of old guys who was in their squad, and I mean, not I don't see the again the only possible trade that I could see happening is them getting doing a Russell. Well, I did hear that there was a chance that they could do a Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis for for um for was it KD and Kyrie or KD and Ben Simmons? It was one of those two swaps.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, I don't think that's going to work. Regardless, I don't think that's going to work.
Uh, I don't know, man. I don't know, but
And I think it's all wishful thinking anyway. I mean, Kevin Durant and LeBron James in the same team, that's not happening.
yeah. So like right now is on a holding pattern. He hasn't been traded yet. If I had in my heart of heart, I actually think there's a better chance of him not getting traded right now than it is that he'll get traded. I think he's gonna stay with Brooklyn at least for the foreseeable future. Maybe as the season comes closer and closer, he might get traded. But right now, I think he's gonna stay put in Brooklyn because because we don't know what Brooklyn wants to do. Brooklyn apparently they said that if they trade KD, they're trading Kyrie also.
Yeah,
So we'll see what happens there. But I think there's a chance that KD stays in Brooklyn.
yeah. I think there's a chance that no, I actually no, I don't think he's going to stay. I think they're going to trade him. I think they're going to trade him along with Kyrie because why keep Kyrie if you're going to get rid of KD? I think they're going to get rid of him. I think they want to get rid of all the drama. I am going to predict that Ben Simmons is going to continue with his stupid antics, and I don't think the organization is going anywhere, and I don't think Kevin Durant's going to win the ring anyway. So
And the funny thing is, when Ben Simmons he had a Instagram post. I think the Brooklyn Nets posted something of him making a stink face on Instagram a couple minutes before Kevin Durant announced that he wanted to get traded.
for real?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But before we leave, um, I do have one thing to say. You see, this is why organizations like the Brooklyn Nets never win anything
Hmm.
because they don't know what it takes to be a winner. If you want to say that, oh, don't let the inmates run the asylum, understood. But at the end of the day, you can give players some level of control, right? I do think that they deserve at least some of that because of the amount of money they bring to your organization. However, you need somebody when it comes down to playing to basketball decision making. You need somebody who know what the fuck they're doing. You need someone who knows what they're doing.
Yes.
That's a big difference between a Pat Riley, a Greg Popovich. Um, I don't know if Steve Kerr makes the. I know Steve Kerr's been a GM before, but I
Hmm.
don't. I don't know who makes the. I don't know who makes the personnel decisions. But you look at what Golden State has built. You look at you. I mean, there's other teams around the league. Like look at what Memphis has done. Right. Look at
Boston.
what. Look at what Boston did. Look at what Chicago's building, and then you look at the Brooklyn Nets. It's a cluster. There's a cluster. And this is why organizations like Brooklyn don't win anything. At least with the LA Lakers, who I don't think is a good organization, but they have history on their side. They have legacy on their side.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ain't got nothing. You are a team that from New Jersey that moved to New York. That's all they are. And until they get someone who know what they're doing over there, that's all they're gonna be is the New York Knicks little brother. And the New York Knicks ain't shit to begin with. So that's all I have to say about it. So
Yeah.
KD, come to Miami. Come to Miami.
So for me, wherever drama happens, follows KD. It follows Kyrie Irving. Those two guys. You have one guy who causes a lot of drama. You have another guy who is so sensitive. That's why I like that nickname that Rob Parker gave him. Which is called the Masot, the most sensitive. Yeah, he calls him the Masot. He calls him the Masot, the most sensitive player of all time. Yeah, like because he gave because like there was a segment he did where he gave LeBron the fault, I guess worst finals loss of all time, and he gave Kevin Durant the Masot, which is the most sensitive player of all time, and that's what Kevin Durant is. He's too sensitive. He doesn't have the mental capacity to take criticism, and he doesn't have the physicality to handle a tough defense. He doesn't. He needs to gain some muscle, same way how Steph Curry did it, Giannis did it, Kobe Bryant did it, etc., etc. And he needs to do the exact same thing. Now, when it comes to winning championships, to me, the only way that he's going to win a championship now is if he goes back to Golden State. That's it.
Yeah, that's
That's
not
it.
happening.
That's
not happening.
Why do you say that?
Because I don't think Golden State has the money. And why would you bring him back? What's the point?
Oh, wait, what was the point back then?
The point back then they lost the final to LeBron.
So if they had won, it would have been what's the point?
I mean, yeah, but they still and if they still got him, I would have been okay with it.
Well, then that kind of defeats the whole, what's the point question then.
No, like they don't know. Like, what's the point of bringing them back? They can't afford them. Back then, they could afford them. They can't afford them now.
Yeah, well, I think that will be the only way for him to win a championship. To me, you could say that. Well, he won championships, whatever. But even he knows he knows that he is going to constantly get criticized, and he's not going to get the full credit because he went to a team that was dominating the league anyway. He knows that. And that's why he wants to go to a championship contending team, because he knows that time is running out. The guy's 34. He's in our age group. He's 34. Yeah. So time is running out for him. He's only going to remain in his prime, maybe the next couple of years. That's it.
I think that's also plays a role into why he wants to get traded. Because I don't think he wants to waste his prime dealing with the circus. So no one said back then they needed him. They don't need him now.
Well,
I actually agree with him there.
That back then they did not need him, Nolan. To me that's an insult to the team. That's an insult to Golden State. That's an insult to the organization, because you telling me, how is it that a team, having us going to say, well, they lost anyway. How is it that when you only lose 9 games that you need a megastar on your team? That makes no sense to me. If you are dominating the league, destroying the league, and the only reason why you lost was because of the league gave the Cleveland Cavaliers a platter by suspending, Draymond Green, that team would have won the series 4-1 if Draymond Green never got suspended. But what happened was, they suspended him, and, momentum shift happened, and Cleveland took over and won. To me, that's not somebody that needed a megastar on your team. They didn't need a top 3 player in order to win a championship. You know what I'm saying? That just does not make any sense whatsoever. You only lost 9 games. How is it that you, by losing just 9 games, you need a top 3 player in your team? That makes no sense.
No one says strong team, but to lose 3 straight in the finals is more than luck not on your side. He's right about that. When you lose 3 straight games in the finals, it's more than just luck. The last game of the series, I think they scored 89 points. You're telling me Kevin Durant couldn't bring you 80, couldn't help you score more than 89 points in the finals?
The same way I feel that Kawhi would have done the same thing, Paul George would have done the exact same thing.
But the person that was available was KD.
Any additional All Star in a 73 9 team, any All Star, any star would have helped them win the championship because again they were already destroying the league already.
But the guy that they went after was Kevin Durant.
So when you are destroying the league, Nolan, when you are annihilating other teams, and you add just a regular star, or all star, or mega star, you're automatically going to win the championship because you're better than everybody in the first place.
But
You're already better than everybody.
the guy they went after was KD.
Yeah.
He had the money.
So to me, they don't need KD. That's an insult to me. They don't need him. They never needed him. They were already a championship contending team in the first place. That's number one. And number two, I don't think Kevin Durant. I don't think if Kevin Durant would try to go to Golden State, that would just solidify that Steph Curry is the better player and that he cannot win without Steph Curry. Well, he cannot win without going to a super team. That's pretty much it. So
No one said but under the circumstances, Golden State was incomplete.
how is it incomplete? They already won the championship.
But they didn't win that.
They already won. They already won a championship.
They didn't win that year.
Okay, so what are you saying is you're saying that they're incomplete because they didn't win back to back. That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
I'm not going home with second with that attitude. Facts. You're saying that they should be complacent with. They should be okay with being second just because they won 73 games in the regular season.
What I'm saying is they would have been a championship team even after that loss. They still would have been a championship contending team, and they still would have been able to win more championships after that fact without Kevin Durant.
But they didn't win the championship that year. They didn't win. So
because the interference of the league. That's why.
Draymond played Game 7.
That's why.
Draymond Green played Game 7.
I told you it was a momentum shift.
Draymond Green played Game 7. Momentum shift don't exist. Stop perpetuating that myth. Momentum shift don't exist. That don't exist. It don't exist.
They do exist.
No, it doesn't.
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
Absolutely, it does.
No, it doesn't.
After that suspension, it changed the whole entire series.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
No, it didn't.
Absolutely, it did.
No, it didn't.
You could keep telling yourself that, but they suspended him, and that was a fact.
Yeah, they suspended him for one game. They suspended him for one game.
Yeah, and you knew that they were going to lose that game when he got suspended.
Okay, and I didn't expect them to lose the series.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. I expected Golden State to win that series.
Once Draymond Green was suspended, I knew that Cleveland was going to win the series
because of momentum shift, something that you can't see and you can't explain.
Yeah, the momentum shift. They suspended him, and now suddenly the momentum shifted, and now what happened? They won the series. If I guarantee you this, though, having though, if they never suspended Draymond Green, Golden State win that series.
They probably would. They should have won that series sooner.
Thank you.
They should have won that series sooner. But the facts are, is that the guy who was, you keep praising up and down didn't have a great series. He didn't. And the problem is that that the 3-point shot didn't go down. And what Golden State got in free agency was a guy who can get buckets. And they just happened to get the best guy to get buckets, and that was KD.
Again, if they could have gotten any All-Star, the same result would have happened.
That's fine, but they got KD.
It could have been KD. It could have been Damian Lillard. It could have been whoever else. If they had another All-Star with addition with a team that was already destroying the league anyway. That's the point that you and Nolan keep missing. They
No,
were
no, no, no,
already
no,
they,
no,
they were they were all they were
no.
they were
Here,
already
here what you're
they
missing.
were already
Here what you're missing.
annihilating. No, let me. I want to
Here,
finish.
no, 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 no.
They were already annihilating teams.
Here what you're
They
missing.
were already destroying teams.
Here what you're missing. You said, oh, they were destroying the league. What do they have to show for it?
Championships.
No. Don't BS me. The year that they were destroying the league, what do they have to show for it?
They went to the championship.
No, they went to the championship. They didn't win anything. They didn't win the championship.
And got screwed over. But
No. They didn't get screwed over. They didn't get screwed over. They didn't get screwed over. If you like, and I keep telling you this, and you have no defense for this. You just keep regurgitating the same talking point that's not true over and over again. If you're a 73 win, if you're a team that won 73 games in a year, and you can't win one game at home, you don't deserve to win a championship. You don't. If you win all those games in the regular season and yet you can't win one game at home, you don't deserve to win anything.
They did win a game at home.
The game that mattered the most in your building. If you can't win that game, you don't deserve to win a championship.
That makes no sense.
I think I make perfect sense, and you don't want to admit it.
No, that makes no sense. Oh, because you couldn't win one game, just because you couldn't.
You keep bragging about them winning 73 games. All they had to do is win one game at home, and they win the championship.
Yeah, they could have won one game, but because of the interference with the league, they lost the series. I mean, well, like you even admitted if he never got suspended, they would have won
for that game. They probably would have won that game. But they still had which game did he get suspended for? Game 6, right?
Yeah.
They had game 7 in their home.
Oh, see, that's the thing.
Game 7 at home.
Where they still had the game 7.
So game 7 don't exist?
What you're saying is that just because the league interference, they could have just easily bypassed that and they should have won. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, they should have won. They won 73 games in the regular season. Yeah, win one fucking game at home.
Yeah, so winning all of those games with the addition of a megastar. Yeah, of course they're going to win more championships. Of course they are. Like that's just common sense. That's common sense.
All you have to do is win one game at home. That's it.
So to say that they needed, KD is an insult to me. It's an insult to all of them. Because any all-star could have gone to that team and won championship. So it didn't matter.
But the thing is that everyone on the team, everyone in the organization recruited KD to come there. That's a fact. They recruited him to come there.
That's like saying, just because that one time, when Jordan came back, they lost. So they went and they went and got Shaquille O'Neal. Like what's the point? Like they were already championship team anyway.
Was Dennis Rodman on that team?
The first 3 years, I don't think he was there.
I'm talking about the year that he came back, but they lost to Orlando. I don't think he was.
Dennis Rodman?
Yeah, I think he was still in San Antonio.
I'm trying to remember because I don't think he was there the first 3 years.
No, he wasn't there the first 3 years. He was still in Detroit, and then he went to San Antonio for one of those years.
Mm-hmm.
But in 90 and a lot of people said this, Dennis Rodman was a huge difference maker for that Wolves team.
Yeah, I agree. Sure.
And we all know Jordan numero uno. We know that. But bringing in a player with that level of with his level of defense and rebounding and stuff like that makes a big difference.
I agree.
And when it comes to KD, the ability to get a bucket anywhere on the court, that's a big deal. That was a big deal for Golden State. Now, could they have still been great without Kevin Durant? Yeah, I do believe that.
That's the point.
No. Wait, let me finish. Because I do believe in the greatness of Steph Curry, I believe in the greatness of Klay Thompson, and I believe in the greatness of Draymond Green. The thing is that what held them back was the ability for one of those guys to get a bucket when it's hard as hell to get a bucket.
You keep saying held them back or not good enough or incomplete when they had already won.
Steve, they didn't win the championship that year.
Okay,
So
okay.
as far as
You said,
championship incomplete.
but you said that they were still championship contenders. They would still would have been a great team.
Yeah,
They
wanted more than that. Just like what Nolan said, they wanted more than that. There's a difference between a ring and a legacy.
They still would have gone to more championships anyway without Kevin Durant. That's my point.
Maybe not. We don't know that for a fact.
We do know that for a fact.
No, we don't.
Because you saw how nobody could have stopped that team. And we're seeing that now.
Yeah,
what is the difference between now and the first championship that they won? They didn't have KD in the
No, the difference now, in my opinion, is Steph Curry to me is a better player now than he was in 16. He definitely had a better finals in now than he did in 16. A much better player now than he was in 16. He had a much better finals now than he did in 16. He to me, he was the difference in that series. They don't win without Steph Curry in that series.
Exactly.
And it's not going to be easy the second time, because remember in 16, the guy who made the difference in that series was Iguodala. He was the one that made the difference in 16.
Yeah, but I still think Steph Curry still got robbed.
Okay, maybe not, but
look at his numbers. He was robbed for sure.
Okay, but at the end of the day, Iguodala was the difference maker in that series. He was, and then in 17, Curry struggled. To me, the biggest difference between then and now is Curry. To me, Curry's playing right now. He's at GOAT status right now when it comes to his play. He's at GOAT status.
So you finally agree that he's the best player in the league.
He played like it.
Thank you. Finally,
he
finally said it, folks. He finally said it. Finally, I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna make sure.
He absolutely played like it.
Let me save this.
But that's your difference. So when Draymond Green said, when we after that loss, we needed somebody who can go in there and get a bucket no matter what. And that the guy that they were able to get was Kevin Durant. It is what it is. If people can get upset about it all they want, at the end of the day, that's what it was.
That's what it was. But again, it was the team that would have won championships without him anyway. Right. That's the whole entire point.
Right. On that note, I gotta go. I'm fucking tired. Anyway, let me read the rest of this from Nolan. You want that ring or you want that title of a GOAT? I agree with him. You want to be the best. You want to be the greatest of all time. Nolan said they swept LeBron's Cavs. They would have swept anybody after the Raptors if they stayed healthy. Bucks maybe would have a title, but that's it. So you're the greatest second place winners ever. That's what they were. That's what the Warriors were. And as far as I'm concerned, if that's what you want, if that's what your goal is, no, that's not that's a fail in my opinion. That's a fail.
Well, at the end of the day, Nolan, like I said, they had interference with the league, and once again, they never needed Kevin Durant in the first place. Draymond Green said it.
The team would have lost championships without him anyway.
No, they wouldn't. They would have still won championships prior to after 16. They still would have. I think they would have won championships back to back anyway.
All right. Well, on that note, it's time to go, man. It's time to go. I've been awake for too long. I need to go to sleep. So, want to say a big thank you for Malta, Nolan, Ruben, or AKA Charmaine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, McKinley. Thank you for watching. thank you guys for Joshua as well. Thank you for watching. And Torian, definitely Torian. Shout out to you, Torian.
Yeah,
Um,
you forgot about Torian. Yeah.
yeah, man, we had a lot of comments, bro. We had a lot of comments. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, and thank you, Steve, for holding it down when I had to go get my mom. So thank you for doing that as well. Even though I blame you for the podcast being 3 hours and 24 minutes, but
How
we
is it
can't
my
all.
fault? No. It's not my fault. We didn't. I didn't elaborate on the Spider-Man stuff. I did not. So no, you're wrong for that. No. I did not elaborate on Spider-Man. We talked about girls and and things of that nature, but I think that's a combination from you and the comments and stuff. So
And then we will talk about old media versus new media in the next podcast. It was my fault. I completely forgot about it after the Ubisoft topic, and I knew that if we added it, it would go real long. So we'll definitely address that next week, right? So on that note, this is Hoover186. I am out.
yeah. So once again, thank you all for watching. Please, if you have the time, just a quick button clicks of sharing and liking our content, so that way we could expand and more people could watch us debate and just have a good time. So with all that being said, this is the Traditionalist 101 signing out. Have a good one.